Hello, welcome to Big Brain Takes, the worst anime podcast on the internet. My name is Michael Guy, and today we're without Sam. Everyone else?
Oh, that's crazy. Well, that's true. You use as Crimson Adventure, or you call me Crim.
All right.
There
I'm
you go.
Forte. You can always call me Joshua.
Matt?
I'm Matt. You can just go with that, I guess.
God, we're fucking awkward. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, but
Oh yeah,
unfortunately.
of course.
But today's episode, we're going to be talking about
Childhood cartoons, baby.
Yo, motherfucker. Childhood cartoons, yeah. Back from the early 2000s and back from like the late 90s, where we all have nostalgia goggles and say it was better back then.
Oh yeah. Easy, dude. Teen Titans Go. What's that?
Garbage, hot trash. Powerpuff Girls reboot.
I didn't even know they had a reboot.
Oh no, yeah, they did, and they twerk.
I'm gonna say around the first of the episode, Blossom and Bubbles were freaking twerking. I'm just like, why?
And they get
Are these supposed to be kindergartners?
and they got rid of Miss Bellum. The
Oh yeah, that was real.
the woman with the
Oh,
big
yeah,
with the
2020 got her.
she had the best head on her shoulders out of the entire show, and she's gone.
And they revealed her face at one point.
Oh god.
They
Wait,
did.
they did?
Yeah, they did.
Oh god, it's weird.
They
wait, the
revealed her.
fuck?
Okay,
Yeah, they did.
You're showing
They
me.
revealed her face.
Okay, you're showing me that later, or
Yeah,
yeah, show me that
I'll
later.
show you that later.
Or we'll convince Sam in editing to just throw a picture of it on screen if we can find it.
Yes. Sam, the editor. Maybe this will be your cue. Hold your hands.
But
But yeah, other than that, like Michael, who should start off the I know it's still like way early, but who should start us off?
you know what, Ben, you can start us off this time.
You know what? Say less. All right, so the first cartoon I have in mind is something is one of five that I held very dear in my heart. It's something that came on Saturday mornings back before the days of streaming service or anything. No Hulu, no Netflix, no Amazon Video, none of that shindig, none of that fancy stuff. Just basic cable or basic television that came on Kids WB.
Oh,
The show I'm referred. Yep, the show I'm referring to is Static Shock.
Oh, okay. I never watched Static Shock when I was younger, but I recently had a conversation about like Static Shock with our cartoons back in the day. They didn't treat kids like they were idiots. They're not wise.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not wise, but they're not stupid. There's a difference. But like, this is your thing, Ben? So I'll let you keep going for the most part. I don't want to cut you off there.
Yeah, so pretty much Static Shock was like, you're the first Black Spider-Man before there was a Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Right.
It's pretty much. So basically, like Static Shock is one of those shows back in the early 2000s, like that handled, that tackled real life problems around that time. Like you still have people that like deal with racism, like school shooting, violence. Like
They had an episode about that.
episodes that
Yeah,
tackle.
they did.
Yeah, they had episodes that tackle stuff like around that.
Yeah.
But like you got my boy named Virgil, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say after like you go over the synopsis, let's actually talk about a few of those episodes.
No, that's what I was gonna go around to.
Yeah,
I was
okay,
I was gonna mention just give it for those who don't know what Static Shock is. Obviously it's based off a comic book from DC Comics, who was I think the show was made by the late Dwayne McDuffie.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure episode for Ben 10.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was like he was a director for that.
Yeah, so
Well, he's
pretty much
the director for Alien Force, so like
Yeah, well,
the bad part.
most of the good parts of Alien Force.
yeah, so pretty much like you have this young teenager named Virgil Hopkins. He lives in the suburbs, I guess you could call it that. But pretty much he ended up getting getting to the wrong crowd with this gang, because this gang because there was this bully at school. I forgot what his actual name, but his villain name, and later on he becomes Hot Streak.
Yeah, that dude never owned a belt.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was like Bakugo before Bakugo, except exploding.
yeah,
he just
he
shoot
actually
fire.
was-
Except Virgil,
He
except Virgil didn't treat him like a fucking beaten wife. God damn it, HA.
Yeah, like I was saying, like before I like jumped the gun. So basically, like, Virgil was in the wrong crowd. He got into this gang, and then there was a gang war, and so like this purple stuff just like spreading everywhere when the police showed up. And like Virgil, he managed to like inhale some of that stuff, but he didn't suffer the effects like how the other gang members did. It's like it wasn't until like later on he was able to like find out his powers, and his powers, just electricity, while everybody else didn't like get that same treatment. They went under mutations and just become like horrid monsters, kind of like think like mutants from the X-Men before there was X-Men.
Or mutagen
Actually,
from
yeah, something like that.
Tales.
But the term for these quote unquote mutants, they were called bang babies. I know.
Yeah, Bang Baby. I was about to say, what was the event called again? Like I was like Big Bang or something. But yeah, Bang Babies.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves. They call themselves the bang babies. Though just like, oh, that was me back then. I thought it was hilarious. It didn't get it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, the way how they said it was like, yeah, oh yeah, the bang babies. They're like, what?
Yeah,
A name,
like
a name.
boomers or something.
Oh yeah, pretty much like a name like that doesn't seem too threatening, but at the same time, like there's still some people that are just like just screw things over. But
Right.
Hold up, man, we got a bastard
I-
here. The Bang Babies, they're coming in.
yeah, because like I didn't mean to like get away from Virgil for a bit, but his whole deal is that he doesn't like guns because he lost his mother to a stray bullet.
Mhm.
And like some people can relate to that because I know, like, if you see news stories, like some people died of getting hit by stray bullets, or they lost their parents due to gun violence. And I know like some places in America, they go through that stuff on a I want to say on a daily. But stuff like that really hit because like Virgil's dad is a police officer, and like he's a widower taking care of two kids. Him and his sister. I forgot his sister's name, but she's pretty much how you would expect a sister to be, just teasing, always messing with stuff. And like again, this is a black show because like some of the stuff like you will see like black kids can relate. I mean, I'm pretty sure other kids can relate too because like they have like siblings that'll annoy the hell out of them. But
Right.
But like
let me
they,
fast forward.
like yeah,
Uh-huh.
but like it's like your main character is like it's black. It's a single father, so like they kind of all focus around like obviously with Dwayne there, they like focus on like the black family when like Virgil wasn't off fighting crime.
Yeah, exactly. Or in other words, like Virgil is like he's a relatable character, and like he's not written to be. He's not forced onto you guys, like, or should I say the viewer? He's not forced onto the viewer. He's really written to be relatable with some of those problems, especially like back in the early 2000s when like most of that stuff was still going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of that stuff is still going on today, but like things like school shooters that somewhat calmed down. Like it wasn't as major as it was like back then. Like the most recent school shooting event that ever happened was like what, a year or two ago.
No, I'm like I'm Australian, so
I just haven't heard any more
on the
about
news,
it,
but like
as of this year.
yeah, I can't it because I'm Australian and we ain't got no guns. But like I'm sure there was definitely like something that happened this year before COVID.
Yeah,
or even during COVID, who knows? Because some schools are still open.
Oh yeah, but other than that, like you have like the one thing I like about the show is like not only it tackles its problems, you have a relatable character, and like the intros to the show. I think the show had like 3 different intros. Like
really?
music wise, they had like 3 different intros. If you look them up later on YouTube, like you'll see like there are 2 different versions of like instrumentals with like some beats going on, while the third one is was just it was just a rap intro by Lil Romeo, back when he was called at that time. And, just a little rapper at the time, like he was just a kid rapper back when I don't know when that was a thing. Like you had a little Bow Wow, but then at the same time you had like but at the same time you had Lil Romeo around that same era.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
he even made a cameo appearance into the show.
Oh, really?
But he's not the only. But because like he was teaming up with Static at one point for what reason I forgot.
Well,
But,
whatever. It's cool cameos, but like,
Mhm.
should we start talking about like how some like the kind of intense, I'll say intense roles that like we don't really see that much anymore. Like that,
No.
I know off the top of my head they had one about like a school shooting, they had one about racism, and there was another one about fuck, what, there was
They had one about dyslexia.
There we go, yeah.
With the
I was gonna
rubber
say like
band.
there was
I forgot
one.
that.
There was one episode that really held dear to me.
Oh?
And that was like Static had to help this girl who had like freezing powers.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
it was a Christmas. It was perfect timing.
Yeah,
This was
December.
a Christmas episode because like not only was this girl homeless, but she also had like these ice powers she couldn't control, And like Static was the one that pulled up and like just talked to her, helped her calm down, and told her like, "Yo, there's a place I know that will help you out, give you some place to stay, and get have some warm food." And that was so wholesome to me, to the point where like I want to help people too. But at that point in time, it's like I wasn't able to because I didn't have the power to do so. But stuff like that is like, if you have the power to help someone, like especially when they desperately need it.
Not even just power. Just like go out and just like be good in your community.
No, what I meant like power. I'm like the ability to do so, like
the resources and the ability.
Yeah, the resources, stuff like that. Because like not everybody has the resources to like just help everyone in need.
I guess I mean not obviously not everyone, but like help who you can. Like go out and just like be good in your community and like that. And people learn by example.
And Static Shock definitely had episodes I remember where
there was like
Yeah.
Yeah, and I personally enjoyed the episode that was dealing with dyslexia. Not that I suffer from it personally, but I thought it was a really good episode that tied in very well into the plot of I forget the guy's name, but he had rubber powers.
Oh yeah, Rubber Band Man.
Rubber Band Man, and I also that's a cool reference. And I thought Static's Virgil, I should say, his best friend Richie, I think was his name.
Yeah, Richie.
I really enjoyed his character growth and arc because he at first was very insecure that he was just a sidekick type character and he wanted power so bad, and he ends up meeting this guy who turns out to be a villain that gives him powers when he was under the alias of Push, and his powers were basically like he could, well, I don't want to just say push things, but he could create like kind of like force field type deals.
Okay.
It's a weird power. But later on, he learns the importance of like it's okay the role he serves, and he actually does end up with exposure from the Bang Baby event, and he becomes super smart, and he becomes Gear. He pretty much becomes Gear, and he makes like toys and not toys, but he makes technology type
gadgets and stuff.
Gadgets and stuff, yeah.
I would say another thing, a little fun trivia about Richie. I know this isn't really important, but it's something that not everybody knows, and then it's the fact that Richie is gay.
Go ahead. Oh, really?
Yeah,
he
is.
didn't know that actually. I didn't.
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
Right.
Did they tackle that in the anime? I mean,
they never did. The anime. No, they never did, but it's been confirmed that Richie was gay.
Rad. Okay. Speaking of Richie, like we've been on this for a while, so let's wrap this up a bit before we go on. But like, they actually they touch on racism, I think, really well in like Static Shock, where I don't know what I don't know what episode it was, but like. He runs away.
It's basically when Richie invited Virgil to his house.
I think
his dad
and like they're looking for him like later. His dad, like both like Virgil and Richie's dads are like looking for him, and he turns to him and excuse me if I don't quote it exactly right, but he's like, your son is one of the brightest, nicest like people I've ever met, and honestly, it's a huge surprise he came from a house like yours, because Richie's dad is he was a massive racist. Well, maybe massive isn't the right word, but he was racist. Like he made like lots of like passive aggressive like remarks about like Virgil like dabbing like like
it's covert. It's like covert racism.
He's not a bad guy per se. But like, it's what he does is how he thinks is bad, and they tackle it in such a really good and nuanced way that isn't just as simple as you were racist, you bad. When like, of course it's bad, but he grew up in a much different time than what we did.
Right, and it's tackling the idea of covert racism, the idea that Richie's dad doesn't even see himself as being racist. He sees himself as being very accepting. That's the reason why his son is hanging out with Virgil, and that's the reason why he's over here right now. He sees himself as being very accepting.
Yeah, and like racism is learned. It isn't like you're not born racist.
Right, and it shows comments that he has these certain biases that we all have. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that Richie's dad is a demon or anything, and that's exactly what Static Shock is trying to show. That he thinks he's doing the right thing, but in reality, he still has these biases that have been ingrained in him through society and television, and just the time period that he's from.
Yeah,
because at the time when Static Shock is going on, Richie's dad was born in like a much earlier time.
Yeah, like the show's been in the 90s, and he was born like in the 50s
and he's like 30
or something.
or 40, I don't know. So yeah, so he's from a different time.
Yeah,
and that we hadn't eliminated racism. It just come in a different form,
Yeah.
which I thought was a really powerful message. Yeah.
Like
Right.
they even have a school shooting episode, which is like, oh god. Like, do you want to quickly go over that before we go on to the next person?
Like I want, yeah, I will close it on that one
Yeah,
because
close on
like
that one, 'cause that's a really good one.
the whole I was going to end it like with the whole episode with that one just because like pretty much I didn't have to go through that back in the early 2000s as a kid because like they were really like protective when it came to like school shootings because like no one that I knew just brought a gun to school, but then at the same time it's like it can happen and it will happen if you're not looking out for it.
Yeah.
Because like kids back then got bullied a lot worse than today.
Yeah, like
It's just
like
like-
nowadays a lot of it's online because people are way more like a massive cowards. But back then people were a lot more like direct with it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
because we didn't have that, that medium.
Yeah,
of
we
bullying
didn't
people
have the
online.
internet
It was
just
more
immediately
like
at our
shoving you in
fingertips.
a locker.
Yeah.
And now it's more like calling you certain names online or doing certain things.
Yeah. So like the thing about that school shooting episode because it's like Richie was the one that got shot.
Yeah, straight bullet.
And like everybody was shooken up by that event that like they had to get counseling. Like Virgil was shooken up because he lost his friend, but at the same time it's like it's even at the end of the episode, Virgil or should I say Static was like, yo, like if you see someone being bullied, like, he pretty much just like give off a send off and just like say like school shooting is like it's a big issue. And, like it's so beautiful. Like I recommend people to check out Static Shock if they get the chance. If the show interests them, because like some of the lessons that show teaches you or that just go through with certain episodes, I believe they still hold up today. Despite like the world changing around us, even though as the years go by.
Agreed. They also had a cool episode with the crossover with the Justice League as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
some cherry on top. So,
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the Batman Beyond crossover was one of the only ones I saw.
Oh yeah.
What Static was like? Oh yeah, my name's Beyonce.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was funny. But yeah, cool show. Cool show. Definitely a good
Very
way to
cool
start
show.
off.
Would recommend. Do you want? Okay.
10 out of 10.
Let's go like we'll go like counterclockwise. Photo, you want to go next?
Oh sure. I guess I'll just kind of start out with the third one on my list. I just didn't have them in any particular order, but I'll go with Danny Phantom.
Oh yo.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I
So,
love
I mean,
that.
Okay, before we start, is it Young or Yo?
Young or Yo?
Is
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
I
it
know
Yo
about
Danny
that.
Fenton or Young Danny Fenton?
It's Yo.
It is Yo. It is Yo.
Yo. It's Yo.
No. You're all wrong. It's young Danny Fenton because like it goes off. Young Danny Fenton. He was just
No,
14.
like,
His
like,
parents
common-
built a very
common
strange
mistake, Ben.
machine.
Like I bring this up because like actually funny. Go and listen
I
to
thought
it.
it was Yo.
He actually said the song actually is saying fucking Yo. It's not saying Young.
Yo,
Yeah.
Danny
Yeah,
Phantom.
Oh yeah,
sounds
it definitely
sounds-
says Yo, and then later, years later, he's like, "What? No, it was Young the whole
It was
time."
young Danny Phantom.
Like maybe it was written
Young
as
Danny
Young,
Phantom,
but the
maybe.
lyricist says Yo.
It sounds like he says
Yeah.
yo, but it's been confirmed by the creator. It's like
Yeah.
it's not yo, it's young. But I don't know. Like
No, that's
don't get me
definitely a
don't get me
retcon.
wrong. I was not get me wrong. I'm not saying you guys are wrong because like
Yeah,
when
I
I watched Danny Phantom at the time, it does sound like he was saying yo. But
Yeah.
it's Forte's floor, so let him get started.
I honestly, I didn't even know this was a debate. I didn't know this was
It kind
I
of
always thought
isn't,
it
but
was
like the
Yo,
whole thing with
but-
Butcher Knowles, it's
yeah.
always funny to bring up the is it Yo or Young?
But what I will say about the Danny Phantom opening is that I think we can all agree it's super, super catchy. It's
Oh,
awesome.
hell
yeah,
I
it
love
is.
that opening.
Especially
Yeah.
the game with the go dun 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 dun. Oh, that was so fire.
And then kind of what I feel about Danny Phantom, the reason it's on my list is it was a cartoon that I really, really, really enjoyed. I saw it from beginning to end. That sounds less awkward. And I think other than probably two other cartoons on my list, I think it's the only cartoon I watched that had two canon movies, at least two canon movies.
Wait,
that
actually,
were
movie.
directly related.
I thought the only movie was
What's up?
Phantom Planet.
No,
Oh,
there
no,
was,
No,
there-
like,
there-
I'm pretty sure, like,
There was
wait,
a
was
movie
it
that
Reality
ended
Trip
the
or
series.
Ultimate Abby? I can't remember.
I can't remember the names, but
It
there
was
was a
the it was the
movie
dark
that
it was the
ended
Dark
the
Danny
series.
Phantom one.
Yeah, there was a movie that
Oh
ended the
yeah, Ultimate
series that
Enemy.
was
Yeah.
canon. And then there was a movie that was also canon that dealt a lot with Vlad Masters, who I'm going to talk about a lot because I loved Vlad Masters as a freaking villain. I thought he was
Oh,
awesome.
me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the deal with Vlad Masters is that he pretty much had achieved everything. He was super successful, super rich. He even now had ghost powers due to the accident that he hated Danny's father for because it gave him freaking what is it called?
Ectoacne.
Yeah,
basically.
act up.
It's so
Mhm.
funny. But he couldn't get the one thing he really wanted, which of course is Danny's mom.
Yeah, because his dad stole him. Stole her.
Pretty much.
What
Pretty
a,
much.
what a cuck.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Vlad Masters is even though he had everything, he was just always trying to get back at Danny's father, who he viewed as lesser than him because he had less money, he had less talent. Danny's father isn't exactly the smartest guy in the world. He's a pretty good inventor.
Yeah, but
obviously,
like,
'cause the darn machine worked. But it mostly was Danny's mom doing the stuff anyway.
Fair enough.
Right.
I feel like she's the brains of the operation there.
Probably.
But I just found his character very interesting, and I liked his powers. I liked the role he played in one of the movies because you could see that he actually wasn't a super terrible guy. Because my memory of all the events of the movies is a little shaky, but essentially Danny at one point wanted to get rid of his powers, and Vlad wanted to help him.
Yeah, like that happened.
Now completely
Oh yeah,
backfired.
that's Ultimate Enemy.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
wait,
no,
which time
no,
are you talking
no.
about? Actually, that happened like 3 times this show.
Yeah, like Dad's like, oh, apparently,
I was
bro.
thinking about the movie one where he
No,
wanted to
no,
help.
no,
him.
no,
Yeah.
no, it happens twice because no, there's evil Danny
Yeah.
who did it, but then like
Right,
in Phantom
right. That's the
Planet,
one I was
our
thinking
Danny
of.
goes through with it with like his own thing.
Right, I was talking about the movie one.
Yeah.
Basically, because he's like, I don't want these powers anymore, and he genuinely like decides to help him. Of course, in the series, he originally wants him to join him because he's like, yo, we could rule the ghost world and the real world because
As father
there's no one
and
else
son.
like us.
Plot
As father
twist.
and son.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
He's actually Danny's dad.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome too because before Vlad's introduction, we're like, okay, Danny is super special. He's the only one who can exist in both worlds. And then Vlad's like, not only can I do it, but I've been doing it for years and years. And it's like, bro.
I'm better than you.
But I just thought he was a really cool villain. Honestly, he could have gone on that Trickster podcast we did a long time ago if it was anime, because
Fair
he's
enough.
really good at putting up a certain facade, like, oh yeah, we're totally cool, bro. I'm
And then
always
like,
trying to like
but then at
sabotage
the
you
top
at
of the
every
hat
turn.
would like flip.
Yeah, but I also thought he had a cool design. I just liked his role. He had a prevalent role throughout the series. Definitely my favorite villain in Danny Phantom.
I mean, to be fair,
Um,
oh no. There was one of villains, but
and
he
I
was
will
the
also
only
say-
overarching villain of Danny Phantom.
Well-
Yeah. Most of them were just kind of like one-shot villains. I think we had a few recurrences, but we had a few
The
joke
box
ones. Like,
ghost.
Hey,
I
yo,
was about
Box
to say
Ghost.
the Box Ghost.
Don't talk
Box
shit.
Ghost, best villain.
Oh yeah, remember in Ultimate Enemy when Box Ghost was like a Chad?
Oh yeah. Future Box
Yeah.
Ghost is like jacked.
Yeah, he was super strong for whatever reason. I'm like, bro, you've been working
Nah,
out.
he
You know, lifting
spent like
boxes."
20 more years like in the Ghost Zone. Dude got fucking ripped.
Yeah, dude, he had to fight. But yeah, I will also say one thing I praised Danny Phantom on, and obviously this is more of a problem in anime than in cartoons was, but the best friend character, she got the guy. That's what's up.
Yeah.
What's her name
Yeah,
again?
I was
Oh
like, oh.
goddamn! I feel bad because I'm forgetting her name. I remember like most
I think
other
it was
characters
Sam.
in Danny Phantom, but I
Wasn't her
don't
first
remember.
name Sam?
There we go. It was
Yeah,
Sam.
it was Sam.
It was Sam.
Sam. Yeah, Sam and Tucker.
Sam and Tucker.
Yeah, Sam
he
and
becomes
Tucker. I
he
don't
becomes
remember her
mayor.
last name.
You don't
President.
gotta worry about it.
She was the first goth girlfriend, man. I think we all.
Yeah, man.
Everyone who's in the who's
He was
in the
either
Ghost
her
Chicks
or
now.
Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, definitely Raven was up there. That's for sure.
From
That's
the
for sure.
tower they can see.
But yeah, I don't have anything super. I think the lessons they had in Danny Phantom obviously weren't as overarching or as nuanced as Static Shock, but they had pretty basic lessons.
Yeah.
The idea you shouldn't trample over your friends for certain things. It's
Yeah.
important to always stay true to yourself. You know, just basic lessons
Like-
that cartoons teach us. Right?
Like no matter
At the
matter
end of the
what,
day, they have
like
morals.
the sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no matter what,
No,
like
that's
the
it.
thoughts about like Butch now are he made a really good show in Danny Phantom.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I just thought Danny Phantom was a really cool show. I like the animation style. I love the idea of the power system in Danny Phantom.
Oh yeah, and like and how his powers like constantly like are evolving and like adding new stuff onto
Evolving.
as the show goes on.
Yeah, because before his fight with Vlad Masters, obviously he couldn't make barriers or shields, but then by the
Yeah.
end of the episode, he learns through his
Example.
interaction with Vlad.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it was pretty crazy too, because like I said, Vlad had those powers for much, much, much longer.
And
than
Danny
Danny.
evolved, like he's evolving like at a really like rapid rate as compared to how Vlad
Right.
did things.
Which is even more frustrating for Vlad because he's like, this is that. I forget Danny's dad's name, but it's like, oh, this is that loser's son, and he's gonna actually beat me. Freaking garbage.
Wait,
So I forget
Danny's
that.
dad and Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
That was
I forget his
Jack.
name.
Jack
Oh,
Fenton,
Jack
there you go.
Fenton.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Curse you,
right.
Siri, you are
Yeah.
slow!
Good old Jack Fenton. But yeah, I liked a lot of the characters in Danny Phantom. Obviously, I thought it was a good show.
Mhm.
Cool
Oh,
animation.
and that
cool
evolving thing also
powers.
happens in like the Ultimate Enemy 2 with like Evil Danny.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But he unlocks like the Ghost Whale like way before he did.
Yeah, and then it's really similar because the same way I described Richie's feelings of insecurity with Virgil/Static Shock, Tucker also has those feelings, and he gets an episode dedicated to him where he receives ghost powers, but they go out of control.
Oh really? I don't remember that
Um,
episode.
And he has to, it's really early on. They go so far out of control that he's getting close to becoming a full-fledged
Oh
ghost,
god.
basically. And he looks very much like
Yeah.
like a really ugly ghost. And it tackles the same insecurity of your friend being the superhero and you having to like kind of accept your role as more of a
As-
sidekick or
as a
more of a
sidekick.
support. Yeah, or more of a support
Right.
group.
Hey,
And
but
being
hey,
okay
he
with
becomes like
yourself.
president or some
Yeah.
shit, so I think he wins in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes
Oh
with
yeah,
the
that
idea
was
of, like,
weird. Like it's like,
yeah.
oh, you're with the bear now.
Hey, yo,
Right.
man.
It goes
hey,
with the
he
idea that
succeeds.
just because he didn't have powers, it didn't mean he was not special or that he didn't have a role, or he was getting left behind. So I kind of like those feelings. I like those kind of messages in
Yeah, that's fair.
cartoons. They happen a lot, but I like the message. But that's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay,
Unless you
fair
guys
enough.
want to comment anything else. I
No.
like that show a lot.
Like it was a good show.
It's a good show.
Very
I
solid.
remember watching on Nickelodeon like Phantom Planet when it first came out.
I do same. I like back in the days with DVR. It's like I gotta set it to record in case I'm not there.
VHS.
Oh yeah,
Like I
definitely.
go to Radio Shack and buy
I still
VHS
have my
and put it
I
in
still have my
TV.
VHS player. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Same, I do as well. Because like a lot of my old videos are still VHS. I just
The one thing
haven't
I-
converted them. So
Oh, good.
yeah, go ahead, Crimson. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the one thing I want to say about Vlad is the fact that like he's the type of person that'll make a promise to you, but at the same time he has his hand behind his back with his fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Like no.
yeah. I think there was actually a scene where he did that. Unless I may be.
I
just
don't doubt
misremembering,
it.
but it does sound like.
I don't doubt
yeah.
that he would do something like that.
I kind of do feel like there was a scene, but he definitely lied like all the time.
But
But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, what I liked was he was just very jealous. He wasn't. I mean, he was a bad guy. He was definitely a villain. But
dude
when
had a
push came to
massive
shove,
amount of insecurities.
pretty much. But when push came to shove, he wasn't. He could sympathize and empathize with people. He just had this one thing he couldn't let go of. So but
Being
he was
cucked
definitely
by
a villain.
Jack.
He was definitely a villain, though.
No,
So
he couldn't let go because Jack cucked him.
yeah, pretty much. And then
Poor
yeah.
Vlad.
But because of Jack, he became rich and
I mean,
had
yeah.
ghost powers.
I
So
mean, it
it's-
goes to
yeah,
show
it's
that like money and power won't make you happy.
right. Money
Yeah.
money won't bring you happiness, but it'll get you a boat that can sail right next to it. Essentially, I wish I could say I came up with that saying, but I didn't.
Damn it. Okay, whatever. But
I know.
guys, next thing, counterclockwise, my
look,
turn. Oh. Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
finish up, Ben. Finish up. I can wait a little bit.
Yeah, close.
No, I was gonna
just gonna
like
do one
comment.
more note.
I know.
Okay, go ahead, do that.
Yeah,
No, in terms of
Oh,
Vlad, it
go
would
ahead.
have really worked out for him anyway, because we saw like an alternate reality episode where Jack got the ghost powers, and she
damn, I
left
was just
him
gonna talk
back
about that. Fuck.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, that
I know
episode.
I've seen it, but it's been years, of course.
Like, what happens again with that?
Well, Danny has
So
to go back
apparently
in
Danny-
time,
Yeah.
and then
There you go.
Jack gets the powers
You got
instead. Vlad gets with Maddie for a while, but then she leaves.
Keck. Okay, never
You hate
mind.
to see
The-
it.
in the end, the cucking was the right
It'll be like that.
choice.
Yeah.
The
'Cause,
cucking.
I mean, Vlad as a person just wasn't. I mean, he was very
materialistic.
selfish, very selfish, materialistic, and very, very pretentious.
He liked
So,
the idea of her rather than her,
Yeah.
and that's
yeah,
why Jack
kinda,
went out in the end.
He essentially wanted a power couple. That's kind of what he was looking
Yeah.
for. So
Mm-hmm.
SMH. But
I
my
know.
turn. I think I'm gonna bring up, because we're talking about Dwayne McDuffie before, Ben
Mhm.
10.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sick. I love Ben 10.
It started when an alien device did what it did. And ironic enough, after like
The
Danny
second
Phantom,
star upon his wrist is seated like it did.
now he's got superpowers.
He's no ordinary kid.
It's Ben 10.
Oh god. Like, remember before I go on, remember the Race Against Time rock version of that song?
That's good.
Oh yeah,
That is metal as shit.
Only good part of that movie.
that was freaking metal.
Yeah, but yeah, another show like headed up by Joe McDuffie, and ironic enough, after like bring it up after
Well,
Danny Phantom, considering like, do you
Well,
guys
he
know?
didn't head.
Oh.
Well, he didn't head over originally. He only did like the UAF era.
No, I'm pretty.
Yeah, I'm saying you gotta consider like this. The show was created by Man of Action.
Yeah, Man of Action, but like, okay, I think Dwayne was still there, but like he wasn't like heading until Alien Force. You're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't come. He didn't come around until Alien Force.
But still, like a show that like was still touched by Dwayne. But yeah, I'm really double irony, considering it was brought up right after like Danny Phantom. Of like, are you guys familiar with like 5 years later, Done by Kuro the Artist?
Yeah,
Yep,
I've checked
I'm
into
familiar
it.
with
It seemed pretty mid.
Yep, fair enough. But like, it's just kind of
I saw the original
ironic
Ben
enough.
10,
Think that that's how things were so worked out here.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching the original Ben 10. I don't think I saw it from. I don't think I saw it all the way to the end.
Yeah,
but I did
that's
enjoy
fair.
it.
I don't think a lot of people did,
Yeah.
considering like it kind of whipped and washed whatever kind of wanted to be at the time.
Yeah,
Like,
cool power system though.
Yeah,
Really
well,
cool
definitely
power
cool
system.
powers. Definitely cool powers. But I think like original Ben 10 all the way to like the end of like the first season of Alien Force is like it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
After that you stay on it just because you're in too deep.
Yeah, I thought.
Well, actually, it gets a lot better when it gets to Omniverse.
Yeah, like
Omniverse.
I have to say because like
yeah.
because like they actually like tie in some events that happened in between
Oh, yeah,
classic
Time
Ben
Travel.
10 and freaking Alien Force. Like nobody knew why Ben had the Omnitrix removed at that time.
Yeah,
like they
now
never
we can
explained
assume.
what happened between those events until like Omniverse. It was pretty sad too what happened then.
Yeah, but, like spoiler alert for like a show that ended in like 2014, 2015, 2016 I think it was.
Yeah, because I'm gonna give you a little recap. I know this is your spot, Michael. I was gonna do a little recap about that. All right, so in the events between Classic Ben 10 and Alien Force, right? Ben had a new alien named Feedback. It was his most used favorite alien out of the ones he had in his arsenal. So he was fighting this corrupted galvanic mechamorph, in other words, a red upgrade.
Named malware.
Named Malware. Pretty much he managed Malware managed to get the jump on Ben when he was in the form of Feedback, and he managed to literally rip Feedback away from Ben. So he separated Feedback and Ben from each other. And he's like, I see this is your favorite alien. It would have been a shame if somebody killed it. And next thing you know, like the Feedback just turned to freaking dust. And Ben was like, he was just so hurt. And then like after that day, he just managed to like get the Omnitrix removed, and he was 11 years old at this time, by the way.
Yeah, like it's never straight up stated that's why it was removed, but it's heavily implied like that's why he like had it removed after losing what felt like a part of himself.
Yeah, I mean, like he still defeated Malware then, but at the same time, it's like after him losing Feedback, it just hurt him so bad that he just got depressed.
Jesus Christ, we jumped from the original series order to Omniverse. Maybe let's dial it back a little bit before we back to Omniverse.
The reason I brought up Omniverse is because like those events connected to each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like before we jump back to the original, I think like the drastic change in art style made people ignore it. Made a lot of people ignore it completely, thanks to pretty crappy marketing. But like all in all, Omniverse isn't that bad.
Yeah,
I like Omniverse.
Like Hour Arc, Rev, I'm good. Do you remember that one with like the multiverse in it with all the Bens teaming up?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
that's really
okay.
cool. But yeah, let's wind it back a little bit to the original series because we've gone a bit ahead of ourselves.
I remember seeing the first episode on TV, and I was just hooked. That first episode's so good.
Oh yeah, like in my room, I still have a bunch of just like Ben 10 stuff from when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I did own the Omnitrix or whatever at one point.
Oh yeah, same here.
I still own
Yeah.
mine.
Nice.
Oh wait,
I'm
which
gonna
one are we talking about? I had multiple.
Oh god, how many do you have?
All of them.
I had the Alien Force one and the original.
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
I did at one point in time.
But
It sucks that the Ultimatrix one they made was so bad.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, why does it only go up halfway? Just make it go up the top. That's the
Why is
best
it
part.
bulky?
Why is it so bulky? I don't like it here. I don't like change.
I changed.
Like my memories of like having the Omnitrix was like, dude, back in the 5th grade, I carried that. Look, me and another classmate, we had the same thing, and we just like turned to Alien and just like, well, it's like, okay, I'll go Accelerate, you go Diamond.
Fucking Korean, that's fine though.
Just slam the watch and then just run to the next classroom we have to go to.
How
Next thing
many-
you know, the watch will go do 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 in the
How
middle
many-
of class.
How many kids do you think like destroyed theirs by actually slamming down in it?
Slamming their hand on it.
Yeah, like they weren't built for that. But how many people think destroyed like destroyed the mechanism and all like the circuits inside by doing that over and over again?
It's like the Button meme when it's time to fight crime.
Mhm.
Slamming your hand on it. Yeah. I remember Kevin 11, but
Oh,
I
Kevin.
forgot what his powers were.
Kevin.
Was
He-
he like elements or something?
He had the
I
power
forgot
to
what
like
his powers
absorb like DNA or materials and like bring it into
Oh,
himself.
yeah, because I remember he could turn metal, but his arms like one time were like volcanoes, like they were like molten or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was Mutant Kevin, like back in like the original where like he absorbed the powers of the Omnitrix, but then like
right.
he
Yeah, that
absorbed
was
so much
weird.
with like and thanks to like his own like what's the word, like stress and stuff, he mutated himself while fighting Ben on like
Oh,
on,
okay.
like,
I remember he
a bridge-
dated his sister, and then they broke
No,
up.
cousin.
a cousin.
A
Ben's
cousin. You're right. They were cousins.
Well, no, they never broke up. They're still dating, and
Oh, okay.
eventually
I thought
married.
they took a break at some point and then got back together or something.
Nah,
But
I
mean,
No,
my
they-
memory
no,
is
as
super
far as
fuzzy.
we know, they never had to break up. I guess they had a stable
nice.
relationship.
Yeah.
Lucky
Oh, that's
bastards.
I mean, we do see Kevin's kid in the future. It doesn't really look like Gwen.
Okay, well,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
Devin.
that
I mean,
no,
it's
no,
go ahead, Mike.
no,
Go ahead.
no, Devin was his dad, and what was Devin's dad? Remember both?
No,
No,
Devin is Kevin's son.
No, oh,
Kevin,
I
what?
get
his
it.
son was,
De-
his son was
okay,
Devlin.
Devin was also
Devlin,
his dad.
excuse me. Yeah.
Devlin was the son. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, it doesn't really look like Gwen at
No,
all.
well,
So that's in like the alternative timeline back in like the original series where like
I was like, you want to explain that, Michael? Or you
Yeah,
want me to explain that?
I
one?
will do that. I want to do this. In Ben 10, there's like they time travel a lot, and every time Ben sees a future of himself, it changes because now he knows what he's going to end up like. It's not going to happen. So that version of Ben, that version of Kevin,
10,000.
yeah, that version of Ben and that version of Kevin are no longer the definite ends. Or, no, not even definite. They're no
The
longer
definite futures.
they're no longer the definite futures of them because now that they know. And Ben has met himself multiple times in the future. He met Ultimate Ben in Ultimate Alien. He met like Ben with the Biomnitrix in Omniverse. And now
that's
that
Ultimate Ben. Yep.
and now that he's met them, those are no longer going to be like his futures.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They probably did,
And to differentiate between his three futures, they're going under the names of Ben 10,000, Ultimate Ben, and Ben 10K.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. They do like time travel a lot in these cartoons.
They do, especially in
They
Omniverse.
really do. Yeah. Because
But the thing about Omniverse is like, oh, excuse me.
So, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the thing about Ben 10 is like when they do time travel, it's not as awfully confusing as like some other shows when they do time travel. Looking at you, Dragon Ball, but
Right.
it's like they do make sense if you actually sit down and pay attention to it. But at the same time, you have some people that are just lazy as fuck and they don't want to pay attention at all and be like, I shouldn't have to pay attention to a show of all time traveling. It's like, okay, you're just not trying to like show at this point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch but not pay attention.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
They surprisingly keep continuity pretty well, like considering like what Ben 10 is, and especially like how the higher ups wanted them to keep making Ben more and more immature as time went on because young Ben sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
and not only that, they also like showed an episode of, like of how Vilgax became obsessed with the Omnitrix because of Omniverse.
because of Ben.
Vilgax,
It all comes
that's
back
right.
to
I called him
Ben, you
Drax.
dumb
I was like,
shit.
wait.
Yeah.
Vilgax, that's his name.
God,
Oh
like,
yeah. Speaking of which, Michael, I'm gonna mention this. Like the first episode of Ben 10 was like the coolest introduction ever because like it introduced my favorite alien, one of my favorite aliens of all time, my boy Heat Blast, who was also voiced by legendary Steve Bloom.
Hey,
And he voices Vilgax too.
Wait, really? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene like later on when Vilgax shows up in the show where it's a Steam Blob talking to himself.
Yeah.
He also played Ghost
I like
Freak.
Diamond Dude or Diamondback.
Diamond Head.
Yeah, Diamond Head.
Okay,
I don't know why I
everyone.
called it Diamond Dude.
Favorite aliens. Let's go favorite
Big
aliens.
Chill.
Big Chill. Okay. Forte.
I like Heat Blast the
Big
most. Yeah,
Chill.
Yeah.
Forte.
Heat Blast and Diamond Head I like the most, I'd say.
Okay.
Same.
Mine would be Jet Ray, Big Chill.
Yeah, but I didn't watch long enough to probably be introduced to every alien.
enough.
But of the ones I remember, definitely those. I
Fair
like the
enough.
bug one too. When they're
Stinkfly?
Yes,
I like
Stinkfly.
I
I actually kind of liked
I
them.
remember all of them. I hate myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
Oh yeah,
You
but
guys
like
are
Heat
massive
Blast,
fans.
cool. Like Diamond Head, definitely great.
Accelerate, Fast Track,
Accelerate.
Jerry Rig, Chameleon, NRG,
Raph.
Armadillo.
Wait, how can we forget about Raph? Raph is great.
Hey yo, Wrath, best alien.
Oh, yeah, I
Let's
love
go.
Wrath.
Wrath, best deck.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
But dude, I remember like the Alien Force when they like introduced like Ben's new 10 aliens, the recalibrated arsenal.
Echo,
And, like,
Echo.
when they introduced Swamp Fire, I was like, "Yo, he's so cool!" At first, I don't know, I thought he was a fusion of Heat Blast and Wildvine, but apparently that wasn't the case.
When I was younger, I tried to like when I saw the 10, I tried to like mix sort of like the aliens I remember that Ben had from before to like compare what the powers are now. So okay, Swamp Fire, Heat Blast and Wildvine, Jet Ray, Accelerate and Stinkfly.
Stinkfly? Yeah, I know, right? That's how I thought the same, like Stinkfly.
Yeah, that's
Big
why I was
Chill,
like, oh, this one's
Ghost
the meme
Freak,
Ghost Freak and Artiguana.
Octaguana, yeah.
Artiguana, just like humongousaurs, like forearms.
Forearms
No way.
and
Yeah, way big.
forearms and weight. Oh my god, weight is working. Echo is Ditto, and who else would fit for that?
I think Benny had any sound.
Oh wait, he had Blitzwolfer. That's Sonic.
And Blitzwolfer. Oh my god, wait a minute. Okay. Brainstorm was Feedback and Grey Matter, or Frankenstrike. Guys?
I can see it to an extent.
Yeah.
aliens.
Then there was Goop, who was... Oh, damn it. We're failing at Goop. No!
I was gonna say
It was like worst upgrade. Yeah, worst upgrade.
Yeah, like worst upgrade.
worst upgrade. I didn't really get that far with Goop, honestly.
Okay, and then there was one more. And Alien X is just God. Never mind.
I was gonna say we might want to like stay clear from Alien X.
No, but shit, that actually works. Damn it. we figured it out. Those are all the replacements.
Dang.
Shoot.
That's a lot of aliens.
That's a lot of damage.
But yeah, it's that like but Michael, you gotta like let the people know like what it's about. Of course, I know some of the viewers may like seen Ben 10 in their lifetime, but it seems it's like
I mean, they could just Google Crimson.
Yo, definitely that too. They say there's like they just like inform them what stuff like you like about Ben.
Yeah, fair enough. we got way off topic and just start talking about aliens and shit and how like
Yo, Ben 10, he was just 10 when a arm wrist fell.
Oh no.
It started when an alien device did what it did. But no, like it came out like it came out around like 2006, like the renaissance of like action cartoons and
Oh yeah.
and we alongside with like Teen Titans and shit. I miss that.
Ooh.
Like
I do too.
Like I miss actual action cartoons, but they're not there anymore. This is why I watch anime.
Not.
It's like you know the reason for that, right? Go ahead, Matt.
like at least TMNT stay consistent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Rise of
yeah.
TMNT.
Rise, like people shit on Rise, but like the song's a banger and actually really well, like it's well animated and fight scenes are cool.
Well, if you ask anyone what the reason that are for hating it, it's never anything like actually like criticism wise. It's like, oh, it's different than our shows.
Like change. They also didn't help that like it didn't sell toys because, and because kids aren't really gonna buy like toys based on shows that much anymore. They have an iPad.
Yeah, I was like, kids don't buy toys much anyway.
Yeah, like
anymore.
Yep.
yeah. So like it's why shows if they're gonna live go on like streaming platforms now.
Yeah.
And make memorabilia for the adults to buy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I don't buy toys. I now buy figurines.
Aha! Da, da. They're not toys. They're action figures.
My action figures became waifus.
Action figures became waifus. Waifus
Well,
became.
it came from that for like, what are you doing playing with dolls? They're not dolls. They're statues.
They're statuettes.
I'm not playing with her. I leave her in the box.
I leave her in the box and I don't touch her as much as I want to.
Gosh.
But
yeah,
no,
let's get back on topic.
Yeah, sorry. But
like,
yeah, Ben 10. It came out at the Renaissance of action cartoons. Like the cat, Ben's family and how he interacts with Grandpa Max and how he gradually comes out to admit to his grandkids his life that he used to have as a plumber. Gwen, and her magic, and all the really cool and sellable toys of aliens that Ben had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And Alien Force kept up really well with Ben, evolving into a leader. But then, for some reason, they thought young Ben would be better, so they made him into a goddamn kid again.
Well, I can see why.
I know, but I still don't like it.
The characterization sucked. They kind of just got rid of everyone's personalities.
One personality sells better, and it sucks. And that's probably another reason why it kind of fell off into the weird opinions people have of it now, where Ben's personality is so inconsistent. One minute he'll be acting like how do you expect him to act? He's a kid, sure, so he'll be mature at times, but he understands what it means to go hero. But then other times he'll be being the most annoying kid you've ever seen that you want to punch across the face.
He's pretty much the one Spider-Man quote. I mean, he was pretty much the epitome of that.
He's Spider-Man
He's
Spider-Man if all he had was the mouth.
Pretty much, yeah.
Honestly,
so he had to really grow up because power was thrusted upon him by complete accident.
Great power with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. He's literally the Spider-Man quote. That's the story of Ben 10, from what I remember.
Oh, yeah, it kind of is. Kid gains power. Kid gains incredible powers. With these powers, he can either destroy or save everyone. He chooses to save, and with that power, he has a butt ton of responsibility.
Right.
I'll say you also got to consider. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I remember both Vilgax and Grandpa Max. Right. They both gave him the same speech. Of course, it was coming from two different motivations, but they were both you don't know what you're doing with this power. You're gonna have to grow up. And Vilgax was saying, you need to just give it to me because you don't know what you're doing.
Grandpa Max was
right.
Yeah, Grandpa Max's perspective was all from
nurturing.
Yeah, nurturing of you'll need to with this power. You hold lives in your hands, and you'll need to grow up in order to do that. But Vilgax is. Give me the watch, give me the watch, give me.
Yeah. Vilgax pretty much I want to rule the world, and you don't know what you're doing.
You're a loser!
Give me this Omnitrix, bro.
Smacks the kid.
And basically, the only thing with Ben that I understood is the fact, he was written to relate to of course 10-year-old kids. Yeah. It's what would be the first thing you do if you discover you had powers or discover you have a watch that'll turn you to alien superheroes?
See what you got, man.
Play around and try them out, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Playing with the watch is how we entirely unlocked Master Control in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but Ben. He didn't grow up with the audience. He kind of stayed that 10-year-old while the audience grew older, and that's kind of why we all kind of wanted to see him evolve as a character.
I would somewhat disagree with that. Omniverse Ben definitely feels the
it comes and goes.
like Omniverse was the most consistent his character was.
Yeah, most consistent.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
it
much.
comes and
Pretty
goes,
much, he
though.
was like 10-year-old at heart.
Yeah, like no, that's fair. Like, no, yeah, discussion. I take that back, Matt. You're right. Like we actively like see Ben like how he acts. Like the whole like cocky thing. It's kind of a bit of a facade for him because it makes him feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
like
his. Oh, go ahead.
but like we're never really told that for so long, and then by the time we are told, it's kind of a little bit too late.
Right.
And I'm saying one thing I want to point out is like after like the reason Ben got cocky again because like at the start of Alien Force he was written so well, but then after the
Beats Vilgax.
the DNA alien
No, yeah,
invasion,
DNA aliens. Yeah, he gets cocky,
yeah,
and then he breaks the
he got
Omnitrix.
hella cocky.
And then he breaks the Omnitrix while trying to beat Vilgax, and Adams is like, "Fuck you, kid." He doesn't talk to him for like a good while.
Mm-hmm.
He just got hella cocky after that.
Which is kind of interesting, considering like how like Ben's like immaturity screwed him over so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben 10.
Yeah.
It was a great.
Ben
It
10.
was.
You're in the
It is
golden
a great
era.
time.
For
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for sure.
I watch
Alright.
Omniverse is actually good.
Right, I guess Matt's up.
Matt, your turn. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we're going action cartoons still. I brought up earlier, but TMNT.
All right.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Just in general, or which one you
Yeah,
going with?
we could go general. Or, I'll focus on the 2003 show. DA, you guys
Yeah!
watch that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He's so
Turtles
happy.
counted off. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 turtles.
Two
It's
episodes after that
action.
He's so
Go
happy.
ahead.
Look at him go. Look at him.
It's just so action. It's the show of the time.
Was it 4Kids who was in charge of this, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah,
Fucking-
it's the one good thing they did.
The one good thing
Obviously.
4Kids did. Well, Pokemon wasn't terrible, and Pokemon wasn't terrible.
Yeah, you say voice in Raph. Like, hello?
Wait, what? Really?
You say WA. He was voicing Raph.
Hey yo, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
I know he voiced Tristan too, but you say just came to mind first.
Oh yeah, and like Pegasus was Splinter. It was great.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's radical. Thanks, 4Kids. Thanks, man. You did good. You did good, bro.
Yeah. I remember watching that show, and like the Shredder was so terrifying in that show.
Like it's
Very.
actually, like okay, like they went from 2003 to a few fast forward, and then back to the sewer was like the trilogy of shows.
Well, it wasn't really new shows, just like rebranding. You know how
Well,
like
but it was still the same continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Here
that's why I say it's like kind of a trilogy of shows.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. That was cool. Okay, now let's go on. Like Matt, you're in charge. Lead us away in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah, but that's what 2003 show. Like, do you guys all know the twist with Shredder in that?
Oh yeah, I do.
Was he an ex-student?
He was like
or-
Splinter's
or no?
brother?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I didn't finish that
Oh,
show. I
well.
saw a few episodes.
Spoilers. It was turned out he was a neutron the whole time.
He was
Yep,
a
the Untron. Basically, he was an alien the entire time.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
so
was
so
like,
basically,
Yeah,
everybody referred to him as Utrom Shredder, just to differentiate between the other Shredder that would come after him.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Shredders in the show.
Oh
Like,
god.
A lot of them. Like you
Oh, yeah.
had. Go ahead, man.
oh yeah, they even had an episode where all the Shredders went against each other.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
that was wacky as hell.
yeah,
But it was still
yeah,
cool.
but this did such a good job sowing the seeds for it. And then I remember that season 1 finale where you just see his head get cut off.
Oh
You
shit.
think they won.
Yeah,
And then the end of the episode, his headless body just gets up. It's like, the fuck?
That's not creepy at all.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the episode, I was like, "Yo, Leo won." Next thing you know, what?
Nope.
Yeah, he just walks in fire. You don't see him until next season. It's like, I think it gets the episode called Secret Origins, where we learn about the Utrons in general and this gay prisoner who, you don't know it's him yet, but then you see him past the feudal Shredders, like, oh, must be his ancestor, right? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. Like Foggers actually did a good job here, and like it continued on, and
It's pretty good for the first 5 seasons. You got some pretty cool villains like
man.
Bishop and Stockman.
Back to
Chris, do you remember
Stockman.
what happened to Stockman, the show?
The Stockman gets. Oh my goodness, man! What poor Stockman.
it's been a hot minute for me, so I don't.
Stockman gets apparently okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So apparently, Baxter Stockman, he's a scientist, of course. He gets done dirty so much throughout the entire series. Like the Shredder punishes him by just cutting him, right? You know, basically, you probably think he killed him, but pretty much he's just like, "Oh, you're a valuable, useful asset, Doctor. But instead of needing your body, I just need your brain." So you can say he pretty much killed him to an extent.
Oh my!
Like
Yeah,
every
so, like-
appearance, you see him more and more mangled. Like at first, you see him missing an eye, and then he's like crippled, can't use legs.
Oh shit!
Eventually, gets to the point where he's just like a brain in a jar,
In a
kept alive by
jar.
science.
Damn, Shredder does not play around, man. Like holy hell.
And every now and then, it won't even be Shredder.
Shredder shreds. I mean,
Shredder.
Oh wait, speaking of Shredder, like Matt, you don't do you mind if I explain like what types of Shredders they appear throughout the entire series?
Yeah. Go ahead, explain the other two.
Okay, so all right, so other than Utron Shredder, you had Karai Shredder. Karai, basically the daughter of Shredder, the original, the one who was supposed to be human. She took over for a while, and she pretty much bodied the whole turtle family.
Well, we can't-
Like she pulled up on the fucking lair and just bodied everyone there. And I'm just like, wow, that's pretty dark. And Leo had to because Leo was away at that time too. Oh my goodness.
Was he?
Yeah, so she struck at a
was he
perfect
off with?
moment.
Was he off with like TMNT Yoda or something? If I remember
Oh
correctly.
yeah, he's also like fat dude on Zankstark.
Is
Oh, yeah, well, Master Blade's called the Ancient One.
Ninja
the ancient one.
Yoda. Ninja Yoda.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I'm not going by orders because I don't remember which one came after. So, Utron Shredder, Karai Shredder, Demon Shredder, Cyber Shredder, and there's also
Was Cyber Shredder? Was Cyber Shredder the one that was
there's
like
a Cyber
an AI?
Shredder.
Was he the one that was like an AI or something or a virus?
Well,
Yeah,
it was actually
he was
a
a
virus
virus.
from the future coming back and combining with the memory backup of the Utron one.
God damn it all!
Yeah, pretty much. She calls up try to take control of it, but the name of the virus was named Viral. Yeah, it was Viral.
Yeah, it's viral.
Her name was Viral, and she pretty much just got taken over by the Shredder data, and Shredder's just gained a new body. And the whole Demon Shredder thing, that was like a whole special on its own. It's like Demon Shredder to me, I think was one of the most powerful Shredders because this Shredder was all magic based, and then you just had
That's cool.
and then you have what's the name? Do you remember the name, Matt? Like Orokusaki, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. You just had ancient Japan Shredder because you had him, and the other ancient people. I forgot the tribunal. So pretty much there were all these ancient beings. They have helmets that look similar to the Shredder, but they weren't related to him, or not by a mile. Pretty much they had to fight this demon who ended up looking like Shredder and took over Orokusaki, and then he ended up becoming the quote unquote demon Shredder. So the whole man, that whole they call it the lost episodes, and that was the best ones I ever seen throughout the 03 Turtles. But there were more Shredders than the one I pointed out. So basically, Utron, Karai.
Back in those lost episodes, the lost episodes, they were like a whole series of turtles. They had to learn magic and how to transform into dragons to fight
the fuck? Oh,
yeah, they had to fight.
That was
they had to fight the Demon Shredder in a kaiju battle.
This sounds like a trip.
it really does.
Because I remember bits and pieces of of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't remember a lot of it. So this is me hearing it for the first time. Okay.
Yeah, I only knew it one.
Yeah,
Shredder.
apparently. Yeah,
I knew there were more Shredders, but I didn't know about the Kaiju Shredder.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was an alien. That's crazy.
Yeah, so apparently the 03 Turtles were the darker turtles. You had one the 08 Turtles, the one that came on Nickelodeon. Yeah, it didn't get dark until
the final few seasons.
way later.
Yeah. No, wasn't that 2011?
It was
Yeah,
2012.
there we go.
Yeah, 2012, like the 3D
Oh, yeah,
one,
it was
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because like
The
in '08, that was when they
2012
did
one
Turtles
is
Forever.
Turtles.
well, 2012 one is just quick on. It's kind of just like okay.
Until like the end.
It was alright.
Like I do remember a lot of stuff from this one though, because I watched it like while it was on, and God, remember like the lost missions or something that they had that they all the what ifs that they posted like after the show ended, and like one of them was like the last episode I think was like was like a post apocalypse where like Leah was double mutated and shit. Donnie was a robot, and Raph was like
Yeah, because the mutagen bomb.
yeah, Wrath was like Mad Max, and Mikey was like more baked than he normally was.
Oh my god.
He was a
Michael,
hope.
you
He was
want
a
to know a funny
hobo.
story about that? Apparently, that wasn't gonna be a what if. Apparently, that was gonna be the finale.
Really,
Yeah.
like
The more you know.
so the episode before would be like the mutagen bomb going off, and then we'd skip into the future.
Yeah, but Nikolai is like, yeah, that does seem very satisfying, rightfully so. And then they were like, yeah, no, make the crossover the finale.
Fair.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
like
based off what I've heard.
it's crazy because like the '03 Turtles had their finale with the movie Turtles Forever, where they had a crossover with the classic Turtles, not the cartoony ones, like the dark comics one. They had a crossover with them and the cartoony '80s Turtles. And it was a trip. I wouldn't say it was the best thing ever, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, instead of having like Back to the Sewer, it was this movie that was their finale, because like after the original '03, they just went to the future called Fast Forward. Cool intro, by the way.
Fast
Then after Fast Forward, they went back to the past, and then this series is called freaking Back to the Sewer. And you would think that's the finale of the '03 Turtles, but no, their finale was Turtles Forever, apparently.
Huh. Okay. Well, TMT. Let's try.
Cool.
Okay, we're an hour in. Damn, we on for a while. I think we could probably fit in one more all around, and we'll probably make it to like the right time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with that, unless you guys want to just do two more and split them in half, if you think you can do that.
Nah, it's
We
fine.
can just do one more.
Nah,
then.
it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Like typically we're about an hour and a half in, so let's go one more round.
Yeah, I'll go one more because if I don't
fit a
talk
lot
about
in.
this, I gotta mention this one because like this show is in the thumbnail, so I get this one's got to be mentioned. Since Spider-Man was mentioned a couple times throughout this podcast, like I gotta bring up of course, one of the best Spider-Man, if not the best Spider-Man cartoon ever.
I think I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, it's the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yes. I was gonna say let's say it at the same time, but then you beat me to it.
So of course, some would think like Spider-Man, like isn't that like basically the same thing as the other Spider-Man? Like, yes and no. The reason I say no is because like this Spider-Man, like this Peter Parker in general, is a high schooler. He's a teenager. Like originally, Peter Parker is like I want to say he's a high school student, but at the same time, like
I'm pretty sure
he's a college student.
No, I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he started. He was like late teens. I'm pretty sure when he started, and he kept going even through college.
And that was like original Peter. That's how his story started out. Like almost every good Peter or starts like similar Spider-Man stories be like, okay, Peter Parker goes on a school trip. He gets bitten by a radioactive spider, gets powers, and Uncle Ben dies, and all that shindig. Yeah. But
by
the
Sandman
story,
or something, who knows? No, it's always Sandman. It's always who ends up being Sandman. I'm pretty sure. What kills Uncle Ben?
But no, this it's Spectacular Spider-Man. Like his whole deal. It's like Peter again. He's a high schooler, teenager. Of course, you'll have like a lot more things to do in life since you're so long. Since you're still so young, and like the one thing I liked about this one is that they didn't go through the whole Uncle Ben died. Because like everyone knows that. Spider-Man's motivation and why he became Spider-Man because like it was just Peter and Aunt May, and like and this for this being like okay, I think Peter said that he's been doing it for a year or two, so he's not that inexperienced. So he pretty much know what he's doing right now. And like most of the villains in his rogues gallery that he encounters, they're either from his creation or people just being criminals that just want to do bad things. And one thing I want to mention is like with Peter, he goes through a lot of shit being Spider-Man, because like his responsibilities it just correlates with him, being Spider-Man.
You know what's cool about this one? Like since Peter is so young, like spoiler alert for the comics, Gwen's still alive.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Like Gwen Stacy's still alive. Like
and we don't meet Mary Jane till like way later.
Venom is actually J. Jonah Jameson's like son, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's made Eddie Brock younger.
It's still Eddie Brock.
It's still Eddie.
Like the symbiote came home. The symbiote came home with JJ's son.
There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. There we go. My bad.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. The thing with Spectacular Spider-Man is like it borrows elements not only from the comics but from the Sam Raimi movies.
But it doesn't copy it exactly.
No, it doesn't copy. That's why I said it borrows elements.
Yeah, it borrows it, doesn't copy.
It's like
Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I love Jonah.
Also, like the reason I said the comics because like I don't know, not everybody here reads like Spider-Man comics like that, but like when I was a kid, I read like the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, and then like pretty much it takes place in the Ultimate Universe, not in the main Marvel universe. And like when I watched Spectacular Spider-Man, it reminded me of the Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe because like again they're both young teenagers who just got their spider powers. They both have to handle responsibilities with the fact that like they have to manage their personal life with school, friends, and other stuff, keeping it secret from their loved ones, also being Spider-Man at the same time. I think that's what every Peter Parker struggles with to an extent.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The fact that like, yeah, I'm gonna say like there's like one point in the show where Peter wanted to get rid of his spider powers because of the lizard event with Dr. Connors.
Yeah.
The family got so pissed off with him because like he took pictures just so he could help out his aunt because like she's getting sick and he used to pay the medical bills.
Yeah. I remember this. Like he has pictures of him of like the fight between Spider-Man and the lizard, and they're really fucking mad about this afterwards.
And it was like, dude, that's all you care about? Just making money? Because the whole thing with the lizard was supposed to be like an inside thing. No one else is supposed to know about it. But since they saw the pictures, because like when they saw the newspapers, like the lizard, the Spider-Man was like who took pictures of this? And then Eddie was like, just look at the name, photos by Peter Parker, and like what we said, like everybody was just pissed towards Peter. And then that's what gave Peter the idea of like, okay, I'm gonna take this mutagen that was made to cure Doc Connors for being the lizard, because like it can also cure him of his spider powers. He was gonna do it on that same night, but he decided to change his mind because like he was like, okay, think about the people that I saved, because like without Spider-Man, like no one he knew would still be around. So he just hid the serum under a desk until like that time came. In case he makes that decision.
Yeah, I remember that too. Like it sits there for like you get that? Like it sits there webbed up in the corner of his like desk for like ages, and then they bring it up again. Like
when he fights Venom and Eddie Brock.
Yeah. God.
Oh man, the black suit was like.
Oh yeah.
Again, I gotta mention the black suit because like they showed that in the opening, and you're expecting it eventually. Because this thing was not just it didn't just come out of nowhere. It was pretty much hyped up from like ever since the intro. Okay. And the entire thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, everyone loves the Venom suit that the Spider-Man gets. Everyone loves the black Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, and then again, like around the time of Spectacular came out, like the Spider-Man movies were a thing, and then you have the Ultimate Universe was coming out, and it's like, yeah, you got going at popularity. Let's go ahead and write the black suit story in, and then like, okay, that went well because like we all know how that turned out for Peter. It didn't work out well because the symbiote was trying to control him. go through his emotions, like, oh yeah, say
I
you
think
you need us and stuff like that.
I think he gets it off in the same way too, by like smacking a bell.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he's not like below the. Eddie's not in a church this time.
Yeah, because Spidey took it back to like the lab to like put in cryostasis to freeze it in order to quote unquote kill it, but it didn't kill it. It just broke out of this icy prison,
Well, no,
and then it just bonded to Eddie.
It didn't break out. What happened was, and I'm hoping I'm
Like, because it shattered. I mean,
no,
I can't remember.
not even that. Like,
Wait, I think
like
it may remember this wrong, but I remember it dying, and then Eddie had extra vials.
no, okay, okay, you might be right, but I might be wrong. But how I remember it is, Eddie watches like I think like Eddie's like his career's like on the line, and he's like bringing it back. He's like, oh, Spidey, you found it, thanks. Give it back, and he's like, can't do it. Throws in like the ice thing and maxes it out to try and kill it, and he hates Spider-Man for like ruining his career. And but it turns out that like the thing didn't die from the icing, and Eddie lets it out, and then it merges with him, and that's like how he becomes Venom. And I believe that's how that works.
Oh. All right.
yeah, that's how
Really?
happened. And it's like he was like, no, I don't just have two enemies. I have one, because like thanks to the symbiote, now he knows like Peter is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so after that,
Right.
he just been on Peter for a hot second, until like eventually Peter manages to get the symbiote off of Eddie, and then he hit it in a block, like in a pool of cement. He put it in the back because like he tricked the symbiote to come back to him, because like Peter was like, I'm sorry, I need you.
Baby, come
And
back.
like and Eddie and Eddie was Venom was like, oh, now you're just begging for us or whatever, some shit like that. And Peter was like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to it, the symbiote. And then he just willingly gave up.
I need you, mama.
Like
Come back.
the Venom symbiote came off of Eddie, and he merges with Peter, and he was like, no, something's not right. You tricked us. You never wanted us back. It's like, yeah, that's right. I just wanted you to get closer so I could, like, trap you. So what he does is he put the symbiote in a bag, and then he just throws it into like a pool of cement, so it'll never escape. And it was left alone for like a few episodes. But here's the funny part. Like a few episodes later, Eddie is trying to get the symbiote back. So he's going around trolling the hell out of Peter, thinking that Eddie got the symbiote back somehow, some way, because like, he's running around in a made up black jump, just swinging around town and just sneaking around, just making sure. It's funny because like I ain't mean cut you off, but like I was gonna throw this in because like, yeah, he like Peter's at the school party, right, and Eddie was there. He was just walking around while somebody was
like
recording
a
the
fucking
camera,
creep.
and then he just casually walks by and just looks at the camera. Oh my goodness!
You know what's up.
Eddie was such a troll because like he
Like, looks at the camera, looks at the audience. Yeah, you know what's up.
Yep. So it eventually got to Peter that he thought Eddie maybe found his symbiote. So like he went back to the place, he buried it in the cement, but it was all a trick because like around that time, like Eddie was following him, and that's how he managed to get the symbiote back.
Because he knew where you hit it now.
Big brain. Yeah. Pretty cool.
God damn.
Not to get too far, like you're not got far ahead. Like the thing about like the Spectacular Spider-Man is because like it handles the story of this Peter very well, of like him being a teenager trying to handle his own personal life, and like being like trying to his struggles of handle his personal life and trying to be Spider-Man, because like he has responsibilities as Spider-Man and Peter Parker, because like it's Peter, he has to take care of his aunt. He has, because like that's why he has a job at Daily Bugle. He's trying to have take care of his school life, trying to manage relationship with his friends. Like the only person in his friend group that knows his secret is Gwen. Eventually, I think she does. I may be wrong, because like there was this moment when Eddie spoiled everybody. It's like, yo, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, yeah. But with the whole Spider-Man shtick, like if no one's gonna protect New York, right? Who will? There are no fucking Avengers. There, like that. That's the only Spider-Man show when Peter had no crossovers.
I remember one episode.
No one of the Marvel.
I remember like one episode was like for Halloween or some shit. He just dresses up straight as Spider-Man. He just takes the whole suit out and no one questions it.
That's funny as heck. That's a big flex.
Hey, yo, man, I
He's
got
like,
the
Yeah,
"Oh, who's
perfect
suit.
gonna
timing,
believe
honest.
He
Yeah,
he
who's
wins
gonna
every
believe
Halloween because he can just bring out the Spider-Man costume.
That's funny. I
Oh
remember.
yeah, that's another thing. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I remember watching like a few episodes of Spectacular Spider-Man, but like not enough to comment. And I'm sure I would get stuff confused between Spectacular and Amazing because they were both like cartoons I remember seeing when I was younger. But
Yeah,
and Spider-Man's been done so many times, I don't know which one is which.
Fair enough, but like it's all good Spider-Man. Like
This is
it's
so
really hard to fuck
yeah.
up
The
Spider-Man.
thing with Spidey, it's like it. No, I have to say like it's really not because like all you have to do because like the thing I could tell you is like Marvel they'll tell stories of their characters, but they'll turn out differently than like their main universe
The
counterparts.
main 616
oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
version.
Marvel
Spider-Man may
universe,
share the
the
same.
IRL.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to say. I was say yeah, Spider-Man may share similar stories to the main Marvel universe, but at the same time, it's like you'll see some differences,
yeah,
like and like not only that, but at the same time, like it'll handle situations that again, yeah, they may borrow elements from their original source material, but at the same time, they trying to tell their own story of like
right.
how this Peter Parker handles situations of his personal life and being Spider-Man, while like at the same time, like see the Peter in the main Marvel universe, he's a grown man now.
Hmm.
Like he's a grown man that's having to handle paying bills, paying his rent. Like there've been like a few occasions where like he has to go through like
Marriage.
relationship issues. Yep,
Selling
that stuff. Oh
selling
my
his kid
goodness.
to Satan.
Yep. So like
What?
Yeah, everyone's
Spectacular's
favorite
Peter.
story.
What?
Yeah, I hate that story. But
Yeah, he sold his. He was,
spectacular story, like he don't have to go through all that BS. It
Yeah,
all it
that's good.
is like he just struggling. Yeah, he just struggling his main life as himself or as Spider Man. The one thing about this show I like is when Harry got his hands on his father's like serum to
on it,
like the Green Goblin serum.
and he gives it to it.
Yeah, he calls it the juice.
Yeah, and it's like it's like a fucking euphemism for addiction. Not even no euphemism. He's just
It,
straight up
it,
addicted.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
gave him. It's he used it as steroids so he can like compete in sports and
Yeah,
whatnot.
there we go. That's
And so
right. It was
it
like
got
it was
worse to the
roids.
point like
Like he went through withdrawals,
yeah, it
and
got to
he needed more and more.
and not only that, but it made him become the Green Goblin.
What was the
And
difference
Harry wasn't
between?
aware
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. He'd black out every time it happened too. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
What was
so
the
like at that
difference between
time,
the
like
Green Goblin and
when
the Hobgoblin? What was the difference? Are they
okay,
same
so
thing?
the Green Goblin is okay. Originally, the Green Goblin was Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn, you know, Harry's father.
Uh,
He was like he was yeah he's just a costume villain created from the Norman becoming crazy obsessed with Spider Man. The difference between him and Hobgoblin is that Hobgoblin is a whole different person. And
okay.
other iterations of the character, he just like either a demonic being or just another person just taking up the goblin name.
Okay. I don't even know if Hob was in Spectacular or if it was just green. I just remember there was a
No,
cartoon goblin.
it was only green.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Can continue then. I was just curious.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I want to bring up is like that show handled like drug addiction pretty much. Because like when Peter found out that Harry was the green was the well actually they call him the Goblin.
Mm.
When he found out Harry was
Yeah.
the Goblin, like his dad came around because he was like, "Yo, my son is sick. Like you only like please don't call the police. Like allow me to like give my son some help." And
Yeah.
Spidey was showing some like he was showing some sympathy because like it's still Peter at the end of the day. And it's like, man, I didn't know Harry was going through all this. But at the same time, like the reason that Harry did this to himself is because like his dad wasn't impressed with what he
Yeah,
was
he was
doing
always
with his
focused on
life.
Spider-Man. He
Yeah,
wasn't actually being a father.
right, exactly. So Harry was like, "Oh, I'm tired. It's like always done everything to try to like make you appreciate me. Like you can't even come to like none of my games or stuff like that." Which
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
yeah, you're
It's
right.
like you're trying to do one thing, but your parent is not like seeing for you. They busy for one thing, or they just like want to do things that they want you to do instead of just like you do things for you.
Like
Yeah.
if I
Uh,
remember correctly, it started off he took a little bit and he started like doing well in sports, but then Norman didn't give a shit,
mhm.
so he took more and more and more. until we end up like this.
Dang.
God, Spectacular
Yeah,
Spider-Man
that definitely
Spectacular
sounds.
was a really good
Yeah.
show, but like,
Yep,
I-
characters are likable. They introduced Felicia in there. I was like,
oh yeah,
oh
but like,
yeah,
oh,
she was hot.
I was gonna say, like, are we? I guess
Hello.
like, is it like any way like you want to close up on like Spectacular Spider-Man, Ben?
Yeah. Let's see.
Or is there more?
I know. I also mention one of the villains. One of my favorite villains
Okay, go
of
ahead.
the show. The concept of the big man is like a blue shark like businessman. But I say shark because of the sharp
Wasn't
teeth.
that Tombstone?
No. Big wrong guy. They call him the big man.
No, that was Tombstone. The big man was
Oh,
something else.
okay. Yeah. This is alias. Because the reason. Oh, I was thinking of Hammerhead. Never mind. It is
Yeah,
Tombstone.
like
My
wait,
mistake.
yeah, like isn't that Tombstone?
Yeah, because at the same time, like we know it's Tombstone, but I keep liking it when you just call him the big man, because like he like when he earns his thing, because like when Pete first pulled up on him, he did not know what to expect, because Tombstone was originally like, he's a placeholder for the Kingpin, but I don't know for what reason that Kingpin wasn't involved, so they just bring in Tombstone instead. 'Cause I guess he was just a more likely substitute, but I digress. Still one of my cool favorite villains in the show. I still like seeing Felicia around, even though she didn't show up as much. But other than that, the one thing to close off with Spectacular Spider-Man is like I would heavily recommend it as your first introduction to the character of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's not that hard to follow. You don't have to read the original source material to enjoy it. You can watch it as its own separate thing to your introduction to the Marvel stuff. Other than that, it's a pretty great show, and I recommend it if you have the time for it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay,
Nice.
Josh, your turn.
All right. So the last one on my list is Teen Titans, but while I just want to like quickly gloss over one thing that I thought was hilarious, and I was just thinking about it. Do you guys remember that old Batman show, The Batman, that used to come on?
Yeah, I believe so.
Man.
Yeah. I just want to say they had a movie where he fought like literal Dracula, and I thought that was funny.
Fuck yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go. Teen
I
Titans.
like that movie.
Teen Titans, go.
Yeah, but so Teen Titans.
What are you talking about? We're talking about Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go.
No, but like they still
Oh, no, no, no.
he
No.
still said Teen Titans go, but not Teen Titans go.
Yeah, it's like Teen Titans Go. Not the Teen Titans Go show, but
Teen Titans Go
I would be
away.
remiss- Pretty much. I'd be remiss if I didn't put Teen Titans on my list. It's easily my favorite cartoon on my entire
Time
list.
to grab something else because I was gonna talk about Teen Titans.
Oh,
Mhm.
rip.
No, it's fine. Something else.
Hey,
Or we can just
hey,
or we
well,
can
that's
just double
good.
link.
We can have a conversation. I think everyone in here has seen Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I'm sure most
Yeah.
of the people watching have seen Teen Titans or at least heard of it. But what to say about Teen Titans? Amazing characters, a great story. One of my favorite villains ever created, like in all media.
Slade.
Who is Slade? Who
even
is Slade?
having-
Who is Slade?
Even having like smaller villains that I really like, such as Brother Blood and the Brotherhood
Yeah.
of Evil. I really
Okay, I'm
enjoyed
gonna
those.
find some characters because I'm just remembering some really cool stuff right now.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sure I'll miss some stuff because Teen Titans was a very long show and it had so many interesting characters. But
Mhm.
one of the things I really loved was Teen Titans never forgot that its characters were teens. So it made sure to show them growing as heroes, kind of like what we talked about with Ben 10. It made sure to show them growing as heroes and all the struggles they went through of having this great power thrusted upon them. And in many cases, with I guess probably all of them, their powers came not only with great responsibility but like great tragedy as well. A lot of sad backstories. Especially characters like Cyborg. I really enjoyed his arcs with Brother Blood and I forget what the school's called. Do you remember what
The
the school was
Hive.
called? The Hive.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it was. The Hive. Yeah. I really enjoyed his arc with Brother Blood in the Hive because we got to experience how rough it was for Cyborg to live.
Yeah, we go.
He didn't get to live a normal high school life after I believe it was a car accident that led him to be rebuilt, if you will. So there was a moment of weakness where he wanted to join the Hive, and of course, Brother Blood knew that, with the idea of having a normal body, looking normal
I
again,
was
having that
episode.
normal school life, that prom, all that good stuff.
And he like wears
Um,
rings that like covers up his cybernetics.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how he tempts him. Or that's not how he tempts him. They give him this to be so he can spy on the hive, so they won't know that he's cyborg. Obviously, they'll think he's
Right.
a stone man. I forgot what his name
I think
was.
I
It
think
was
I think
like
it was.
Hector Stone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
I
that.
mean, his name is Victor, so
And I
there you
knew-
go.
Yeah, and he was going with that alias, and then he slowly slips into this is what my life could have been. And I remember there was a moment of weakness there, but in the end, of course, he makes the right decision because the Titans are his new family, and those are the ones he loves and wants to protect. And he has this really cool quote. I really like this exchange between him and Jinx, who was a member of the Hive, one of the upper echelon members, if you will,
Cartoon Crush of
students.
mine.
Yeah, pretty much. She says, "You could have been one of us," and he said, "Well, I could have been a lot of things." And I was like, "That's what's up." I really enjoyed Cyborg's development throughout what I consider mini arcs that carried over to the main arc with the Hive and Brother Blood. Also, the name Brother Blood is pretty sick. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Like,
Yeah, speaking of Cyborg, I want to add real
okay,
quick.
no, go ahead.
Like,
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, like these like Cyborg focused moments in the show. One of them involving him like exceeding his limits, where
Yeah,
like
the dumb-
yeah, the dumbbell thing, and like he had to go up against this heavy like robot looking dude who he lost heavily to, until like later he managed to like exceed his limits and managed to defeat him.
Yeah, because
And another moment where
it's the human part of him that like allowed him to prevail. Because like I
yeah,
remember
and
like, the
another
guy saying if you were all robot you'd win. Your human hearts are holding you back. It's like no, that will let me win, and he beats his ass.
yeah, and another moment where sort of like when Starfire went to her home planet and she's being called a certain name, I forgot. When Cyborg calls her that, when Cyborg calls her that, she was like, "I don't like you calling me that," or whatever.
You keep going, I'll
And
find it.
Cyborg was like, "Why? And isn't that what they be calling you?" She's like, "Yes, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt." And he was like, "Oh, so they've been calling you bad names."
Okay.
So not only that, yeah, they handle racism in that episode too.
Yeah, they do.
Let's actually talk about some like really good stuff from like Teen Titans, because
Okay, well,
like
one of my
there is that,
favorite
and like you're
things
a bit mistaken, Ben. It wasn't from our home world. It was like someone else. It was like another guy who was on Earth, and I'm gonna try and find the actual
I'll-
line like here while we're talking, but like yeah, like he always refers to like Starfire as that name, and when Cyborg does it,
I don't know. I don't know. It's someone from her.
It wasn't
It's
from-
someone they call it from her native planet. That's all.
it wasn't from her planet. It was from another planet who thinks Tamaranians are trash and nothing, and that's why he calls her that.
Mhm.
And
but
and
yeah,
like
as far-
it's
go
it's
for
kind of a really clever like sneak in for racism where it's like Cyborg's like yeah people treat like people would call me names too like injure me badly, and Sapphire's like because you're a robot yeah, and it's like I see what you're doing there, Teen Titans. I see what you're doing.
Oh, racism. Yeah, they tackled racism pretty well. That's for sure.
Another thing that I
some
think is really
good
great
scenes.
is remember Annie. Any of you remember Annie?
No.
She was a
Not
she,
particularly.
okay. It was an episode starring Beast Boy in particular, and Annie was a piece of like body that was broken off from Clayface, who gains her own sentience, and but like through the entire episode, like Beast Boy and her like they have a connection going on. But like at the end when Clayface is like, no, my bad.
Wait,
That's Batman. That's Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say, I remember
Batman.
that's
Batman.
Batman.
Never mind.
I get for bringing up the Batman, bro.
We'll talk about Batman later. We'll talk about that later. But no, another better thing. Tara.
Yeah, Tara. I was gonna mention her at the end. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed her journey of trying to control her powers, and of course, we had the episode with Slade where Robin became Slade's apprentice,
Well,
sort of as
yeah.
a way to spy on him.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
almost fall
And then,
in love.
but then, like Slade got way in his fucking head.
Yeah, and then it was cool to see Tara actually go down that route.
And then
of becoming Slade's apprentice.
And then how she sacrificed herself for the greater good, and at the very end, which is still, it's kind of bittersweet how that's how Teen Titans ended. Because it never really,
Yeah,
it never did really get a proper
bittersweet.
ending. We see like Beast Boy
Yeah.
with like
Uh,
meeting her, but she has like no memories
yeah,
of like
she doesn't
or anything.
remember anything. She has no powers. And they're fighting an unknown villain who we don't really,
Like,
as far as I know, we don't get the name of, but it
like
could be a
it,
reference to a
that's
popular
that's really
villain.
kind of like weird too. How it's like, like, okay, how did she survive? How did she get here? But I guess in the end, it doesn't really matter.
You're right. I think that's what they were trying to say. If I remember, the episode title was something along the lines of, I don't remember, but it's like things change. And I think they were trying to say that during the time they were fighting the Brotherhood of Evil, so much had changed back home. And
Definitely.
that's just kind of the thing they had to accept. Beast Boy couldn't keep living in the past. He couldn't keep trying to bring Terra back.
Yeah, Terra was gone, and
right, there was
nothing would
more
change
crises that the Titans still had to fight. They had people to save, villains to defeat, and that's kind of how they wanted to end the show.
Yeah,
bit of
a metaphor too. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they probably knew this was the last one they're going to pop out, so they thought, okay, let's go with a metaphor of like, it didn't have to be Tara, but like
Yeah.
it was her, and that's like that's the person that they used because she was so close to the Titans.
Yeah, easily my favorite. And this leads off from Terra's sacrifice, as we mentioned earlier. But one of my favorite episodes was we're leading to the new arc dealing with Raven and her father, right? And we had already been introduced to Raven's father before in a one-shot episode where Cyborg and Beast Boy enter Raven's mind, and they get to meet all her different personalities. Yeah,
I'm gonna find his name real quick. Keep going.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things was when it's Raven's birthday and we think Slade is dead, but he comes back with this S on his head and he's like shooting flames, and Terra and Raven
Trigon.
are just like, what?
Trigon, that's the name. Trigon.
Yeah,
yep.
Trigon. That's right. And I thought that was just a great way to introduce an arc. Number one, it was something that had been alluded to in a one-off episode so early that of how strong Raven's dad is and that he's, not the greatest guy in the world. And we had ended the arc with Slade being supposedly gone due to Terra's sacrifice, and we immediately get a resurrected Slade. So it just opens the door for all these really cool questions, a really cool plot.
And they had a really cool episode about like PTSD.
Right, they get wrecked by Slade.
And like they also had like a really cool episode about like PTSD, where like Robin like believes Slade is like there.
Yeah, I remember that episode where he just can't get over that Slade is actually dead. Like, and it turns out he actually isn't.
well, no, but like he wasn't there at the time. I'm pretty sure what was happening there.
No, he wasn't there in that episode, but later on he is very much there.
He's very much alive, but there he wasn't actually Slade.
Henchman? Yeah, as Trigon's henchman, or whatever you want to call him, right-hand man.
Yeah, we go.
Not so much since he gets betrayed in the end, but...
Curse you, Satan!
And then Slade betrays him by working with Robin and disappears.
Yes, Slade was a great villain.
But one thing I did like, this kind of goes with the Trigon episode, is Teen Titans was good at bringing off like one-off episodes, such as the Trigon one, as well as the Brotherhood of Evil.
Oh yeah,
that was turning into like their best arcs.
Like,
I feel like
they had many episodic. They had like tons of episodic episodes, but they all felt like important.
They all felt important, if nothing else, for character development, and they all went into larger arcs every single time. I felt, well, not every single time, but most of the ones that were very important did lead into very large arcs, such as the one off with Trigon, Brotherhood of Evil, and go ahead, Crimson.
No, I would say if I may, I want to bring up one of my personal favorite arcs of all Teen Titans, the one involving Red X.
Oh yeah, Red X. That's a very popular villain.
Yeah, because like right, because at first it was like Robin was Red X, but then when he got rid of Persona, like the suit was gone, and then Red X returns, and everybody was like thinking like Robin was Red X again, but that wasn't the case. So by the time the show ended, no one knew who was Red X, the current one, and Robin ended off with one episode saying like anyone could be anyone could be wearing that suit, which was pretty cool because like they really left that one alone. What I mean by alone is like they left that like who is the new Red X. They left that part alone because like they want to keep it as a mystery because like as like I said, Robin said anyone could be under that suit.
Well, I mean, anyone just like, but we all know it's Jason Todd.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much. You're just kicking everybody's ass.
And Red X wasn't even really a villain. He was just antagonistic to the Titans.
Yeah.
Because he was
Yeah.
just trying to serve his own purposes at any given time. Um, and it was the idea that anyone could have been under the suit, that anyone would use this power to serve their own goals as well. Or I don't want to say anyone, but a lot of people given the opportunity, they definitely would be like, well, this is pretty great. I can get ahead in
hmm
life with this suit. And that's pretty much what he was doing. He was just doing whatever it took to get by. He just even said something like, I'm not really doing anything like harming anyone. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying to serve my purpose. So could you just, leave me
Yeah.
alone?
Can you
That'd
just
be
bug
great.
off, please? Thank you.
Yeah. And he was I don't want to say he was a clown, but I liked the persona and the confidence he gave off. He seemed like a very
Oh yeah,
chill
same.
guy. Like the guy you'd like probably would be your best friend in life, right? Some guy you would hang out with, which added to his
You
persona.
go
I
out
feel
and get a
like.
beer or two.
Yeah, exactly. The guy you'd probably get a beer or something with. But
Honestly,
he's just like a
personal
chill
favorite.
I can't believe we've gone so long without talking about
Top
the
two
opening
favorite.
though.
guy. Yeah.
When
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna say
by
that
Puffy,
is-
by
Wait,
Puffy
which
Army
one?
movie.
when
Yeah,
The one,
when there's trouble, you know who to call.
I think Teen Titans even before Avatar was like that first cartoon where it was like, is it anime?
It's
And
an
if it-
well,
and
well,
if it
well. It was
isn't, who
animated
cares?
in it was like Korea, right?
Probably.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
even
where
sure.
it was outsourced to, but I know the artist, like the vocalist who sang the theme song was by Puffy Ami Yumi,
Yeah, who
who
also
also
had their own
their
show.
own cartoon show.
Yeah,
Which I
Yeah.
do remember watching that.
I remember that
And
too.
they actually had a movie where they went to Japan.
Yeah, I
So,
remember that.
was
Yeah,
pretty
like
cool.
Oh yeah,
remember that
Trouble in
episode?
Tokyo.
Movie
Yeah.
Trouble in Tokyo. Yeah, that's a new thing. Oh god, like okay, I found something kind of cool, and forgive me if I'm misremembering it. They would like they'd always have like the English opening for like the serious episodes. When it was like when it wasn't jokey or anything, they'd always have like the English opening. But when it was all just kind of piss takes, they had like the other one.
Yeah.
That was a sort of a trend, but they have it like the other one for like the Trigon episodes. I remember that, so it's like kind of pokes a little bit.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
I have been proven wrong. Not
One
the
of the
first time.
cooler
Considering
episodes-
earlier I was talking about Batman.
Right.
I mean, hey,
One of the
it's still a good
episodes
episode.
I thought was, one of the episodes.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
like
was
that's
really
a good
jarring.
show, but like I don't think we'll have enough time to talk about it.
Probably not.
No, I don't think
Well,
so.
maybe we'll do a
Not
part 2 at
likely.
some point because we have tons of stuff to talk about for here.
I mean, this has pretty much been all action cartoons. We just do another one that's just like
Comedies.
other cartoons.
Yeah.
Comical
Other
cartoons.
cartoon.
Just comedies.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it probably will. It'll probably just be like Futurama regular show stuff
yes, yes. Okay, next time Regulation Futurama and shit like that. Let's go. Okay, but keep going, Josh, until you're done.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, one of the episodes I really liked from the Brotherhood of Evil arc that I thought was really jarring was the Brotherhood of Evil was slowly, what should I say, capturing members of the Titans that they had kind of round up through their mini adventures, if you will. And I remember the episode with Hotshot where I forget her name. Mystique?
Oh, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Mystique is
that
Marvel.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was like
X-Men.
some kind of barring. Yeah. Where she could change her face into anyone, and that was just a genuinely creepy episode because the deal with Hotshot, the one that got the most focus, was due to its flames. If she were to get close, her like face would melt off, and her identity would be revealed. So the whole time she's pretending to be Robin and trying to convince him to like turn off his flames, and even the viewer's like, well, is it Robin or is it her? I don't know if Robin's there or. If
Oh no, it's
not
revealed
Robin.
pretty early on.
Yeah, I mean it is, but at first you're just thinking like, who is this? And you're like, will he turn off his flames or turn off his heat? And eventually he does, and he gets captured. But it is a pretty creepy episode, really suspenseful one. And then of course Robin shows up like later, and she's masquerading as Hotshot, like, oh, I'm good, Robin, I got her, we're fine.
Hot damn.
So it's pretty cool.
Okay,
But
next.
yeah, Teen Titans, solid show.
Hell yeah. My turn though. Codename Kids Next Door.
Oh yeah, that was on my list as well.
I stole
like
it.
that.
no, but really. Another great show from when we were all young, who just kind of, God, looking back, I always feel like a giant rush of nostalgia from it. And
Yeah, like I remember coming home every day and seeing on Cartoon Network. That's great.
yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
like the whole thing of like they want to fight for like the rights of kids and how it honestly like from a kid's perspective it does always feel how people older than you like once you hit teenager suddenly people start listening to what you have to say. And
Right.
those days when you were just young and like didn't really have responsibilities, but like these kids did have responsibilities. They were fighting crime, adult tyranny.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember number 276 and how he was trying to stop number one from turning in a letter basically inviting. I remember someone in like the Teen Titans headquarters to his birthday party, if
With
I
Teen
remember
Titans.
correctly. He was turning. I mean, Kids Next Door, whatever. If I remember.
Oh yeah, 'cause he
Yeah.
had turned 13, meaning he would
Right.
be he would be out, and so he was trying to
Exactly.
hide the fact that he was a teenager now.
And he ends up becoming an antagonist, and
Well,
I just like the way they.
yes and no. He's
Okay, his antagonist, and at the end of the show is revealed he is like a secret undercover operative the whole time.
yeah, like there
Oh,
are
okay,
very
maybe,
few
yeah.
like operatives who don't fucking get decommissioned afterwards,
Mhm.
and they get to stage operatives even as teenagers.
Yeah. I
Chad-
just like
Chad
to
is
see
Even though
his
they
name.
still get all the teenage perks, like the battle ready armor.
Or bra.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
that armor.
dudes were wearing bras. What the
The
fuck?
lasers out of Coke cans or bottles or whatever. It's funny as heck.
And like soda was like a euphemism for like metaphor for, like euphemism or metaphor for alcohol. You had to be a certain age to drink it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty great. They also fought a Dracula, but he would like spank you.
Oh god,
pretty
yeah.
funny.
Count Spankula was always creepy to me.
Yeah.
Child
episode was
abuse.
pretty
Oh
creepy,
god.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, like overall, they had like tons of like fun villains. Like, hey, okay,
Yeah.
hold up, Torlinator. I didn't hate the Torlinator.
Oh yeah, the Toilinator.
Yeah,
Torlinator.
Torlinator, and all sorts
Oh,
of.
and like Caps and Sticky Beard.
I like Sticky Beard, but like because like we're kind of close to the end, so I'm gonna kind of cut myself short and kind of combine like the main like sector V and then talk about like the ending and like what and the thing how they were gonna the not gonna but like how do all of you remember GKND?
I remember that.
Yeah,
How they kept trying to get greenlit, but they kept refusing.
Yeah, we'll go on with that at the very end, but right now we'll talk about the main sector V and how and just like all the characters from there. So let's go down from 5 to 1. Number 5. She, yeah, number 5. Number 5 was cool. Like it was always like nice to like see how she was there first before number 1, but he was the leader. Ended up becoming the leader before her, and took over a lead position from her. Because I'm pretty sure she was leader first, but then he came around. And just all of the fucking crazy shit she went on, like finding the fourth flavor of ice cream. Guys?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
the
remember that.
the fourth flavor, being a candy pirate and some shit. Number 5 probably had some of the best like solo adventures.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I remember Mr. Candy or not Mr. Candy. What was that guy's name? That she was.
Oh, the
often with?
the German kid, the fat German
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what was his
forgot what
name?
his name
I actually read his
was.
name off the top of my head, but that's a shame.
And he betrayed her like twice.
Yeah, he
Every
became like licorice or something. No, he didn't become licorice. No, he became. God, he became
Yeah,
like
it was
candy
like the
or some
mummy's
shit.
curse or something.
He got
Yeah,
cursed
became, like, a
somehow. What was he
candy
cursed
monster.
with?
I remember. He
can't
tried to
remember.
pull this like emerald candy, and he became a mummy monster.
Yes,
that was made of candy.
yes.
And I was like, what the heck?
Yes,
Yeah,
happened.
It was funny though.
It was like it was surprisingly weird and dark with some shit that they got away with.
Yeah.
Like the Black Licorice
Yeah.
episode, how they became bloody zombies and skeletons.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was super outlandish, but
And
it was
and then
really good.
yelling at people who put Jimmy's or sprinkles on ice cream.
Yeah, and then I just remember like the main villains. I feel like were
Father.
Father and the delightful children down the lane.
Yeah,
or
Dodger
whatever
and
they
Father
were
were
called.
actually kind of threatening.
Yeah, he was pretty sick.
And there was
Oh,
like
yeah.
Z. Yeah.
He was just like a silhouette the entire time too.
Oh yeah.
He was also his uncle.
Yeah.
No, but
Yes, plot twist.
number 4, he became a doctor. Let that all settle in for a second.
Wait, he
Yeah,
did?
Yes, watch
he was-
watch the movie, the follow-up, which is canon to the series. He went to Harvard and became a doctor.
That's so funny because he was like really dumb.
I
but
know.
that's how he was
Well,
portrayed.
Wallaby became a fucking doctor. It's like, oh, okay, there we go. He's the smartest one there. He went to Harvard. Look at him go.
Did he marry number 3?
Yeah,
That's all I care about.
he still marries Kuki, but he became a fucking
That makes
doctor. She becomes
That's
CEO of like Rainbow Monkeys, and I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
what.
right. She loved that.
I don't know what
Yeah.
Hoagie did though. I don't know what he did.
Oh yeah, number 2.
He marries
Yeah.
he marries number 5 though.
Yeah, I remember that was like something there. I know number 1 was with Lizzie or whatever her name was. I
Well,
think her name was
he
Lizzie.
was, but then he went to.
Oh,
went to
okay,
s-
gotcha. I didn't finish. Kids Next
Yeah,
Door, so
yeah.
I
Like
didn't really end it.
at the end of the movie, he like leaves the kids next door to join the Galactic Kids Next Door, and like goes to space to like fight adult tyranny there.
Oh, that show was a trip.
It was a trip, but it was a
Yeah.
good trip.
It was
Oh
a good
yeah.
trip, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Number 3
Treehouse.
was never any fucking ball of like happiness and shit.
That was funny. Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Kids
yeah,
Next
like
Door.
like number 4, 5, and 1 probably have the most like about them. So it's kind of a shame that like number 2 and 3, they might have more, but I'm not remembering a bunch right now. Didn't really have like a bunch of stuff to do.
I feel like most of number 2's stories told through him being friends, like really close friends to number 1, and of
Yeah.
course the relationship with 5. and
Yeah,
then
like
number 3 is told through number 4.
Yeah, like they were all
So-
like, they were all like they were kind of attached to like their other like the other members of like the sector. They never
Right,
they never
right.
did it. They never really did it like solo No, number 2 did solo adventures, but they were all kind of joke episodes where like he smuggled where he smuggled soda across the border, or he saved a
Yeah.
rabbit from like no, he became a chocolate thing. That's what he became. He became a chocolate monster because he fell into the volcano.
Right, and then the tapioca one. I mean, that was kind of a little focus on him because it was his grandmother, I think, with
Yeah.
the tapioca episode. But yeah, that still involved everyone.
Yeah, but and then number 3 would be she was like number 4 where like they went to like the Rainbow Monkey Island, or they got
Yeah.
trapped, or they thought they thought that they were lost in space or some shit like that.
Right.
But then
Yeah.
number 1, Nigel Uno.
Nigel Uno.
They weren't. No, well, never mind. I was gonna say everyone had like a number in their name. I'm like, I don't think they did. Only Nigel. No, was the only guy who had like a number in his name.
Yeah, a number actually part of his legal name.
Nigel Uno.
Yeah. Mm,
Nephew of father. Wait, does that mean the? Does that?
his last name is Spanish, but he's from Britain.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Because I remember he was like his parents, or I don't know if he was born in Britain, but I know his parents definitely originated in like England. I should
Well, yeah,
say.
yeah. His father definitely. Like I remember like the number 0 like special, where like his like
Oh yeah.
his father's like accent back then and now. Like he's definitely
Right.
he's definitely not from America.
America. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
No, but yeah, and like number 1 with all the shit he went on. One episode where he's forced to become an adult, thanks to like the ray that they have, and he's an ice cream man for like the entire thing. And like
Yeah, I remember
and,
that.
and I think that's the first time like they fight father, because they still eat cigar and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was like fighting as an adult, and they're like, "You can't do that," and he's like, "I'm gonna do it anyway." Like,
Yeah.
Very cool.
And like it's kind of metaphor, like being an adult doesn't mean you don't necessarily have to like lose what made you like lose like the stuff you enjoyed as a kid, which kind of leads me to like
Right.
leads me to the ending where like number 1 does leave and goes to space. He like but before he leaves and like everyone's crying, he tells them like no matter how old you get, I don't want any of you to like lose what made you kids.
Right.
None,
They kind of go. Yeah, go ahead.
like really like kind of like just because you grow up doesn't necessarily mean you have to grow up, if that makes any sense.
Right. and that kind of went against what they were trying to say, because early on they made it seem like it's a time bomb. Once you become an adult, it's
Oh yeah.
over.
Oh no, it wasn't. But like, the entire show was kind of a metaphor for like growing up, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like from a kid's perspective, it's like, oh, when you get to a certain age, you must change.
Yeah,
You
like
must
and kids
become
don't understand that.
right.
Like the
And
whole
I
show
like
is just
seeing
full of
it
like
that way.
childlike things. Like looking at the aesthetic of all their weapons and stuff, where it's just like ketchup and mustard bottles, like
Yeah.
stuck to some.
Bottles
The
with,
fire
like,
laser beam
insurance.
somehow.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
But no, yeah, but like the entire
Um,
kid was a giant kind of metaphor for like growing up and how kids believe that once you hit 13, suddenly everything changes. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then we had GK&D where seemingly Nigel killed everyone.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Yep.
that show never got made, so
It was the worst.
I kind of like a
I
part
would-
of me wishes that did kind of get picked up because I wouldn't mind seeing like that like all of that happen. But then it kind of goes against the movie where like at the ending, number 5 was like they're all adults now, and they trick father with like phony information, and at the end he calls back and is like, oh yeah, me's at the treehouse and says number 1, welcome back, and then it ends and it's like that's nice.
That's nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But any out here, do you guys remember the crossover episode Candy you had with the Grim Adventures of Billy and
Yes,
Mandy?
that was it.
Oh,
Another thing to go
yeah,
on
I
about maybe
forgot
next
about
time.
It's actually called the Grim Adventures of the K&D or something like that.
There we go.
That's funny.
Oh no, yeah.
That's funny.
That
was another good cartoon.
Next time when we go off action cartoons and go into like comedies and shit, we'll bring up Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy because that show that got away with a lot. That got away with a lot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that's kind of everything that I kind of have in my mind for like Kids Next Door. I would like actually wouldn't mind seeing GK&D at like event in the future, but like it probably wouldn't have happened. But like I still have the old show to look back on fondly. But yeah, Matt,
Oh yeah, for sure.
end us off, big man.
Yes, sir.
Matt.
Let's see what to do next. What else is still was brought up so far? It's another action cartoon. Generator Rex.
Yes, let's go.
I actually don't even.
So
I
make
actually
way
did
to
not know
start a revolution. Make way, we're gonna have fun
Yeah,
tonight.
he's all
Make
singing.
way, we'll start a revolution. So make
Oh.
way.
Well, I have heard that opening, so maybe I did see it.
Yeah, it was made by Man of Action, and like, and unfortunately got treated like utter garbage.
Yeah. Like I remember it got like the last season was all on at 5 a.m. in the
Yeah,
morning.
like really early in the morning, so you can see it.
Like I just randomly woke up one morning and saw like the third to last episode. I was like, wait, is that this time slot? I woke up the next few days for it, and now it's like, why wasn't I told about this?
Yeah,
I just
'cause-
had
yeah,
no
it-
idea.
Yeah, because like,
I had no idea about that type of mistreatment as a kid. It's like,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, because like now we understand. Okay, they want to like make it back and like write off as like write off for taxes to make some money back. But like, it's such a scummy move to like throw it there with absolutely nothing to like say it's there, and so no one watches it. So like the ratings plummet, and so they can just write it off as like to make it back on taxes. It's scummy
Well,
as
at
hell,
least
but
the show managed to end.
yeah, like it got the end, but like it got treated like garbage regardless.
Rip.
But like Generator X, that was a great show. I remember like when
Yeah.
I remember when like it was coming out, they had like
Yeah, they had
teasers
like a
for it.
whole action block with like Ben 10, Generator Rex, and like Star Wars on it.
Oh yeah, the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Clone
Yes,
Wars,
the Clone Wars and
Yeah,
Secret
I remember
Saturday.
tuning in that every Friday night. It's like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that show
at least
was
Clone Wars got like justice in the end because it got like its final season on Disney Plus, which I watched and it's really good.
Nice.
It was
Yeah,
really
but like, back to Rex is like, damn, where do we begin with this? Rex is just like a really solid protag. Agent 6 was really cool.
Yeah, it's like CIA, but like Robot Kid.
Yeah.
'Cause, like-
Van Kleiss, the main fucking villain.
Oh yeah, and I don't remember a lot. Like no, they had some roles in there and some stuff that goes on there, but like seeing like I think okay, who had the cooler powers? Ben or Rex? Let's go.
And
Good man. Sorry, Rex.
Your Rex is still cool, just not as cool.
Not as cool. He was a robot kid. With nanites and shit. Remember the Ultimate Alien crossover they had?
Oh,
Yeah, and like he upgrade fuses with Rex.
yeah.
And he gets like giant like upgraded fists and shit. So it's cool.
Yeah. No, but I love that like Rex and Van Clyce parallel each other. Like Van Clyce was the direct opposite of him.
Oh yeah, like Van Clyce was a guy.
Yeah, like one control,
He was like
one controlled machines, one controlled nature. As Rex learned more stuff, Van Clyce his intellect was less effective.
Who was it? Was Van Clyce like the guy who was in charge, right? If I remember correctly. Or was that someone else? Cause like
I know you're thinking White Knight.
yeah, White
White Knight's the one in charge.
Yeah, a secret villain who like a human untouched by nanites because he was like in a vacuum sealed goddamn suit.
Yeah, you're thinking of White Knight, but he wasn't really a villain. He was just an asshole at times.
Well, White Knight wasn't a villain. It was Black Knight that became villain in season 3.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of he was thinking of Black Knight then.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. This show sounds pretty interesting.
Like it was like
how they introduced Rex's brother Cesar, and then like they keep trying to make us think that we shouldn't trust him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was acting shady at times, but then at the same time, it's like they really alluded to the fact that like, oh yeah, Cesar is not really meant to be trusted. Even Van Clyce tried to convince Rex that his older brother wasn't meant to be trusted.
Liar.
But at the same time, it's like Cesar is there like to even give us like unanswered questions. Like Matt, you remember that one AI that tried to kill Rex at one point, or just make everybody.
Zag-RS.
Yeah, so Zag-RS was like pretty much eventually the voice behind her was Rex and their mother. I was like, oh damn,
that ain't right, bro. That ain't right at all.
It's like yeah, little bro, it's our mother. I was like, oh damn, that talk about a minor plot twist.
Oh lord, but
I say minor because it wasn't really that major. It was just a surprise.
It was just a shock.
Yeah.
But yeah, like oh god, I think Generator X honestly had potential, but like it got treated so poorly by like Cartoon Network at the time that like it just kind of didn't get to like be what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It's not like it had a weird airtime.
Yeah, it did. Like it was
especially for a kids show.
Like it didn't sell toys.
Cartoon.
That's the thing. Like it didn't sell toys, and that's not unfortunate. The death of like a lot of the shows. It didn't sell enough toys.
Yeah.
It's why.
I mean, like I said, like my bad, Forte, but I was get this out. But I said, what the thing with Generator Rex is like, it's not the fact like it didn't just sell toys. I mean, yeah, sure, that's the case with most action cartoons. They have to be canceled. I mean, just look at Symbiotic Titan. But what I'm trying to say is like, at least Generator Rex like managed to get an ending, a send off before. Instead of people just saying, "Oh yeah, it got canceled." In fact, it didn't. It just got an ending. Just pretty much just in time, actually.
Well, no. It got. I'm pretty sure it still got like the cancel, but like they had enough episodes left to like wrap things up.
Oh yeah, it got canceled, but it's like they left it like super open ended. Like
yeah, like
managed to fix all nanites in the world, but all the villains are still out there and still have their powers. It's like
yeah, so like there's still people to fight and shit. Like just because something is canceled and gets an ending doesn't mean it wasn't canceled in the first place. Cause that is still a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And also you can tell from the finale they had to rush a lot.
Yeah, they did. Like Rex, like the nanite, like the prime nanite and shit, and how everything just kind of went together in like 3 episodes. Like like it felt like they wanted one more season, but they didn't get one, so they just shoved the final season of work into like a few like the season they currently had.
Oh yeah, like remember Rex's giant robot form and how it wasn't brought up again till the finale, and they got it like 10 minutes later.
Wait, I do not remember that. I'm gonna look that up real quick. But I'll look up later. I'll look up later because they'll take up time what we have here. But or we can do it in editing. We don't know, maybe. We'll see.
Sam's
But
like, yeah, I ain't doing that.
It'll be right here. Screw you guys. I'm not doing that.
That'd
But
be funny.
yeah, I think
that looks sick.
oh god, we are 2 hours in, and I think that's kind of everything for us now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, we don't. But we clearly have enough more stuff to do a part 2 at some point. So maybe then.
Yes, sir. Yes, for sure.
This is Fire Guy Michael from Big Brain Takes, the worst anime podcast on the internet. Everyone else want to say goodbye?
For sure.
Yep, the worst anime podcast where we haven't talked about anime a single time.
Hey yo, let's go to anime.
Yeah.
We'll be
Yeah,
the
this
worst
Matt
cartoon
signing off.
podcast.
Thank
We'll be
you.
the worst cartoon podcast for tonight. Thanks
Yes,
for watching, guys.
good. Thank you guys. We'll
Don't
see.
lose your way. Peace.
God damn it, Ben. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.